True Biafran. MAZI NNAMDI uniquely brings to you, Radio Biafra live broadcast by the eminent Supreme Leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. The Director of Radio Biafra. And the Supreme Commander of the Armies of Biafra. MAZI NNAMDI KANU. The evening broadcast, live, and direct, on the 8th day of June, 2015. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Browse Biafran restoration websites at www.ipob.org, and radiobiafra.co. Also browse our website at www.biafran.org, to learn more about Biafra history. Visit our YouTube channel more often for the very best of Biafran videos. Enjoy it.
Triumphant from all our foes, through the crucible unscathed we passed victorious, our trumpets pealing the glorious song. Play it, sing it, all hail Biafra. Oh, hail Biafra, we shall always remember all that perished in the struggle for.
Good evening, wonderful people. Great Biafrans, wherever you are on the face of this very planet, once again, I delight and I take pleasure in welcoming each and every one of you this very evening. Today is the 8th day of June in the year of our Lord 2015. The time now is precisely 7 minutes past 7 p.m. in the evening here in the United Kingdom. We welcome you irrespective of the part of the world that you're in. It does not matter the continent, the country is irrelevant. So also is the city or the town or village. It is absolutely immaterial. As long as you have the willingness and desire to listen to Radio Biafra, then you must do so. We are live and we are also direct. We are propagating this very message of hope, a message of restoration to the entirety of humanity. By what I mean is that anywhere you are on this very earth, let us begin with Biafra land. If you are in any part of Biafra land blessed with CHK frequency modulated broadcast, then you are indeed very, very fortunate. You go to 97.6 Biafra FM. If you are in any other area, please always strive for 102.1 Owerri, Igwocha, and Enugu, I imagine. Nsukka, Owerri, and Igwocha, 102.1. If you are in Onitsha, it is 97.6. If you are in Enugu, it is 97.6, if I am not mistaken. We are live from this part of the world, which means that if you are in any other part of the damnable contraption, the abominable zoological republic, the seat and the den of criminality and evil, if you are calling yourself a Nigerian, which means you're either a monkey or a baboon, and you wish to listen to this message of hope, a message of enlightenment, a message that will ensure that you remove yourself from the ignorance and stupidity that the white man locked you into, that only your hopelessness has perpetuated for decades, then you go onto satellite Radio Biafra. We are also on satellite. We are a satellite broadcaster, the only people capable of doing that. We are not just on radio, we are also on satellite. And in case you have forgotten, any other part of the world that you're in, including even if you're in Biafra land, even if you are in the zoo itself in Africa or elsewhere, if you have any device that can access the internet, then you can listen to Radio Biafra. I repeat, if you have access to any internet-enabled device, you should be able to listen to Radio Biafra, by which I mean your mobile phone, which is your smartphone. If you can get Facebook on it and WhatsApp and all the rest of it, there is every chance you can use it to listen to Radio Biafra by going to www.radiobiafra.co. You can also listen to us by going to www.ipob.org. We are also on rblworld.tv. Where we are, the platforms you are on is too numerous to recount here. If everything is lost, go to Google and type in how do I or how can I listen to Radio Biafra. That will tell you how to listen to us. We are everywhere, and that is why I also suggest you make it a point of duty of every day making sure you go to Radio Biafra London on Facebook or Radio Biafra on Facebook. If you go there, you will be able to find us as well. We are live and we are direct. And if you are looking for us, you should be able to find us. If you wish to listen to Radio Biafra, you are more than welcome to do so, because if you come here, you will learn. If you come here, you will become enlightened. And if you come here, behold, we will take you closer to Chukwukika Biama, who is our maker. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. The people in the far eastern part of the world will welcome you, especially the Biafran families along that very stretch of Japan, of Taiwan, of Cambodia, the Biafran families in the Philippines, the one in Indonesia, the ones in Singapore, Biafran families in Malaysia, the ones also in China. We remember each and every one of you, and every blessed day you are in our thoughts, you are in our minds. We are doing the best we can to restore our country, that everybody may come back home. We want to bring everybody home, that we can build a civilization that the whole world will be very, very proud of. I welcome you sincerely and wholeheartedly. And as soon as the barrister is able to join me, I will bring him to you. If the barrister comes to me, I will bring him to you straight away. He knows how to come through to me, and I am sure he is going to be able to do so. If you are close to the very eminent barrister, you will ask him to come close to me as quickly as possible. Before we go any further, we must pray, because we are serious about what we believe in, because we are not hypocrites, because we do exactly what it says we are going to do. When we say we are without fear before our enemies, we mean it. When we say we speak the truth always, regardless of the consequences or who gets upset, we mean exactly that. If you have been listening to Radio Biafra, you too can attest to that very fact as well. When we say to you that we are here to help those who cannot help themselves, that is why Radio Biafra is for free. That is why we publish our newspapers for free. For those who cannot help themselves, we try and help them. That is why we try to do no wrong, that Chukwu Okike Abiyama may indeed love us. That is what we do. That is why we do it. And that is why we are absolutely certain that Biafra is going to come. I welcome you. Allow me to ask you to welcome other people as well. If you are, it doesn't matter where your relative is. You can be in South Africa and somebody can be, let's say somewhere in Sweden. You can call them up and say, oh, we are doing this. We are IPOB. Why don't you go and find your nearest family where you are? Why don't you listen to Radio Biafra? Everybody can do that. Everybody can. That is why this very evening, without an exemption, we call upon the grace of heaven. We call upon Onye Ligwe, as our mother once said, Chukwukika Biama, who resided in heaven, to come and take pride of place, not just in what we are doing, but in our lives as well. To ensure we remain of good conduct, because we are fallible, we are human beings, but by His grace, by His tutelage and His guidance, we are able to sustain and uphold our dignity. We are able to remain incorruptible. We are able to remain whiter than white and whiter than snow. And for that very reason, Chukwu Okike Abiyama will find us fit to found Biafra under our watch. That is why we call upon His holy name. That is why we magnify Him. That is why we exalt His glory. That is why we place Chukwu Okike Abiyama before every other thing in our lives. That is why we proclaim His goodness in the land of the living. That is why we are hopeful. That is why we are certain. That is why we are assured of the glory that is to come, which is a sovereign entity called the Republic of Biafra, His own kingdom upon the face of the earth. We call upon Chukwu Okike Abiyama this day, as we do always, to come and abide with us, to come and pilot this very effort that we are making, to remember the promise He made to us, to remember the promise He made to our ancestors, because we did not come into that land to be servants and slaves to those who are uncircumcised. We did not come that the infidels, those who don't know the Most High, will be able to lord it over us and turn us into their slaves. We are not Biafrans for no reason. We are who we are because we are the children of the Most High, descended from heaven itself. That is why His protection is mandatory. That is why we command it. That is why we request it. And that is why we solemnly submit to it. That Chukwu Okike Abiyama cannot allow shame to befall His name. In everything that we do so knowing fully well that we have no other person other than Thee. And as Yahweh Yeshua prayed, that Your kingdom will come on this earth as it is in heaven, that is all we are praying for as well. We know that very kingdom to be the Republic of Biafra. That is why we call down Your glory. That is why we call down Your mercy. That is why we ask You, please, the Most High, the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the author and the finisher. Everything that we are today, we submit unto Your greatness. We submit to Your holiness, because we have come before Thee to worship You as always, in truth and in every honesty. That is why You must bless us. That is why You must abide with us. That is why You remember that we are Your children. You said we should come back to You, and we have done so. You said if we want Your blessing, we should come back to You. And that is precisely what we have done. We have returned to You. We have come to acknowledge and to recognize that there is no other God on this earth. There is no other entity apart from you. There is nothing worthy of worship apart from you, O Lord of hosts. That is why we kneel before you, and no image and no idol. That is why we call upon your holy name. That is why we come to you direct, because we are your children, as you commanded us to, not to have any God before you. That is precisely what we are doing. Therefore, you must bless us. Therefore, you must grant us our wish. Millions of us all over the world, including those listening this very minute, you will, Chukwu Okike Abiyama, grant us our wish, because we know who you are, because we recognize your supremacy, we recognize your magnificence, we recognize your omnipotence, we recognize your preponderance. That is why we shall always call upon your name, and you will not let us down. You have not let us down before. You will not allow our enemies to laugh at us. We do everything we do in your name. You cannot allow shame to befall your name. If Biafra doesn't come, shame will be upon your name. The world will say, look at them all the time. They shout their God. They call Chukwu Abiyama all the time. Look at them. They've been abandoned. We cannot allow that to happen to your name. That is why we are willing tools and instruments of this very great and magnificent work, which you only decreed that we must engineer, we must carry out, we must execute, and that we must bring to bear. And that is exactly what we are doing, because we are nothing without thee. Our prayers cannot be complete unless we offer everything up unto your holy name, and that's exactly what we are doing. Therefore, every glory, every praise, every adoration, every adulation, we offer unreservedly and unremittingly unto your magnificent name, that this wonderful name that started everything that we know about creation will be blessed. Chukwu Okike Abiyama, now and forever. He said, my name is Nnamdi Kanu. I lead the indigenous people of Biafra all around this very world. So do I command the armies of Biafra, as I will do in battle very, very shortly. I happen to be the director of Radio Biafra. Therefore, by the very special grace of this same Chukwu Okike Abiyama Hirisi Yogawala, the only trusty shield we have, the only entity that we go to, the only praise that we offer, I will serve you diligently and loyally. One thing you can bet your house on, your life on it, is that we will never disappoint you. That will never ever happen. You can swear with your life on it. We are human beings, that is true, but we are of a very special breed. We will not lie to you. Never, ever, ever. We will not prevaricate. We will not dither. We will never, ever retreat nor surrender. We remain incorruptible, which means we are beyond corruption, which is exactly the model we want Biafra to take. We are whiter than white and whiter than snow. And we're going to Pobola. People may try as hard as they can. One thing stands us in good stead is that we are incorruptible. Can never ever be. Therefore, if you want to come and join us in what we are doing, you are the one that will let us down. We can never let you down. That is a categorical promise and assurance. It can never happen. Because any day we wake up without Biafra on our mind, Chukwu Okike Abiyama will snuff out our lives. That is why we say what we say in public. So that Chukwu Okike Abiyama will know also that his name, the world is listening to us. He also knows that his glory and his magnificence is also out there for the world to see and to judge. If we are evil, you will kill us. I not wasi you kill us. Chukwu Abiyama in heaven will call upon you. In the same vein, if we are speaking the truth, then we will see Biafra. Biafra will come under our watch. Anything we touch will turn to gold. As simple as that. That is why we are successful, because we recognize the formula. We know it very, very well that Chukwu Okike Abiyama is the only name capable of salvaging his children, because we are descended from heaven. How do I know that? When you answer Umuezala, When you answer Omo and Igwe, what do you expect? The children of the kingdom of heaven. Names that have been as old as humanity itself. Even before the white man came, with names like that, who needs somebody else to point them to where salvation is? We know where it is, and that's exactly where we are going in this heavenly kingdom upon the face of the earth, the sovereign republic of Biafra. Barrister has come to me and I must go to him. The very eminent barrister, accomplished in his field of work, which is of course legal, operating in this very country, in Her Majesty's Royal Courts of England and Wales. Barrister, I will welcome you. Please allow me to also ask you to welcome our people all over the world. If you can hear me, you are at liberty to proceed, please.
Director, good evening to you.
Good evening, Barrister.
Good evening, fellow Biafrans worldwide, wherever you are, greeting you. This PM edition being brought about by Radio Biafra, being supervised by the director himself, Nnamdi Kanu, Onwa Buruburu, the man of equitable status. The man who will tell you he is standing there, go there, that's where he stood, perfectly and standing without shaking. I greet all of you and welcoming you to this Radio Biafra PM edition. Wherever you are with your listening devices, tune it fine so that you can hear what we're saying here. We cover the whole Biafra land and trying also to reach the zoo as far as we can. But the Radio Biafra is covering the whole Biafra land because that's where it's destined to be, to cover the people of Chukwuabiama. First of all, charity begins at home. That's why we are first of all baptizing our own people before we could reach abroad. And of course, we have a magazine in waiting to establish all we are doing here because we are preaching both land, air, and sea. Wherever you go, even in the bush, people would like to climb on top of a tree. That reminded me of this guy who was on top of a sycamore tree to see Yeshua. What his name? I've forgotten his name. Zacchaeus. I'm reminded. Zacchaeus here was. Even when director was in Abba, some people were climbing everywhere to see him. Director, you see, you almost become the Yeshua yourself without even knowing it.
Not at all, please.
People, they were pursuing you, took you to where you were facing the same Virgin Maria you were criticizing.
Barrister.
That's a warning to you. Don't criticize the woman too much.
But I'm not criticizing her. It's what they have decided to do in her name that I criticize. Not at all. Not at all.
All right.
I cannot be critical of the womb that gave birth to the Messiah. I cannot do that. You know me.
Yeshua himself.
Of course, Yeshua. I cannot. It is what people are doing in her name that I abhor.
Yeah, that you don't like.
I don't. Not at all.
That's why two of you are looking eye to eye. When I remember that, he sent me away, you know. He was watching her face to face. Director Onwe Buruburu, you know, Radio Biafra, it brings a lot of joy to people, you know. He cracked jokes here.
All over the world. All over the world.
And sometimes we make them angry.
We have to.
Like the foolish guy who was talking to you yesterday. And you see, Director, please, let me tell you this before any advent. When people call, try and get their name fully, where they are calling from. If need be, when they drop, call them back. You cannot call me to insult me, and then you will not wait to get an insult back. Somebody will tell you he's falling from a tree, tell you where he's been and where he's going to, and then after talking, you drop off. If you don't know how that pains me,
I know.
If I cannot get myself to reply all the allegations you put before me, it does give me headache. Please, from now on, anybody that calls, take note of their number. If they did not call with any number, just terminate their calls before they started telling you. You cannot tell me who you are and what you are and where I am coming from. And I'm not be able to challenge you or to correct any wrongful allegation that you put before me. So those out there, I know some of you will try this evening, when you are calling, if you want to make an argument, please marshal your point and then wait for reply. That is what we call argument in an adult fashion. Here, Radio Biafra do not scan any call. Call us, talk to us. We talk to you. I've said it here many times. We are not terrorists. Since we've been on air, we've not ordered even a fly to be killed, because that's not our quest. Our quest is restoration, and that's what it means. We restore life. We restore people. We restore country. We are not destructive. We don't damage. We don't take what does not belong to us. We want to restore our own originality. That's all we are asking for. We are not here to seek for something that does not belong to us. We are not going to invade anybody. We are asking for Nkonye Deria Ashim Kem Derem. Leave my own and take your own. That's all we do here. We are not asking to covert or to steal what does not belong to Biafrans. We are here to restore. And why are we restoring? Because we've been dejected, humiliated, marginalized, killed, dumped, even dragged to our death. We don't want this anymore. That's why we are trying to restore where we came back, so that we can go back from where we came from. That's all. We are not asking for too much. If you ask him for what belongs to you, there is no crime committed here on Radio Biafra. And that's why nobody can have the effort to close us up. We are not doing anything illegal. What we are doing here is like preachers who are preaching to telling people to repent. That's what we're doing here. We are telling Biafrans, know where you are. Stop following what is not part of you. Stop exposing yourself into Islamic characteristics that is not part of you. A goat has to be a goat. A sheep must be a sheep. You can't crisscross into a different territory. Biafrans are Biafrans. I remember Sonny Okosin, one of his earlier music. He says England belongs to Englishmen. Scotland belongs to Scottish people. And America belongs to Americans. Biafra belongs to Biafra men and women. And what we're doing here is to restore our heritage. That is what we preach here every day and night. We are not after anybody's wealth. We are not, unlike what Hausa Fulani Boko Haram and the Yorubas are doing in our land. They loot, they steal, they take our properties and bank it abroad. Our children are suffering. No good quality education, no light, no good roads, nothing ever. And the Western world are happy because they bring it over to you. You jubilate. You know, this we don't want. And that's what we want to put to a stop. You don't have to look for a sniper because I want to make my country okay. When you came to destroy my country, you came by force. Even then, we are still not looking for snipers to killing you. You know, what we are here is to restore our heritage so that we can go home, live and let live. That is what we preach here on Radio Biafra. We preach for the goodness of mankind. Let those who are created by their own God, even the book of the Bible says that everybody goes according to their own creation. The Muslims call their own God Allah. English people call him God. Their own spirit. We call our own. We call Chukwu Abiyama, Chineke Okike. Why can't you allow me to be? Must you kill me? Must you subjugate me into accepting your own way of life? Everybody according to the way they believe things. You use your own doctrines to dominate. If I refuse, you want to kill me. For me, is an act of cowardice. If you have a superior argument, bring it, put it on the table. If you defeat me, I'll join you. If I defeat you, you just close up your own particular program. Because we believe in argument. We believe in reasoning. This is what we learn. Not using power of ammunition, guns, and spears. That is for children. Years and days are gone for all those things. We believe in argument, dialectic. If you reason more than me, I'll give you a handshake. We become friends. That is what we do here on Radio Biafra. We've never ordered anybody to be killed. We've never ordered anybody to be pursued or even promised sending sniper to anybody. The Western world believe in killing truth. But Biafrans, we're a different race, can never kill truth because Chukwu Abiyama created us, especially. Director, a friend had a dream and told me about you. You were given the mantle to proceed. You are given the authority. This is a dream being revealed to me this evening from one of our brothers.
A white man spoke to you in a dream.
No, a brother told me from Manchester this evening before I came on air. You've been given the mantle to proceed. Our people say nothing megas
at all.
Nothing mega. So you've been crowned, if I have to put it in that way.
We give glory to Chukwu Kikabiam. Do I worship man?
That's what we do here.
Do I worship idol? Do I worship
for where?
Do I worship anything that the hand of man made? I don't do that rubbish. It's for idiots.
Everything we say here is sanctified.
Sanctified by heaven. Okay. Barrister is with me. I become stronger. Even in the spirit, I vibrate.
Direct I'm your own man.
This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are direct, and heaven is, of course, presiding. We are nothing without heaven. Everything we are doing will be in vain had Chukwu Kikabiama not asked us to come. That is, had he not determined that we should come. Chukwu Abiama asked us to come. That is why anything we tell you is gospel. That is why Barrister is here. That is why Uche Mefo came. Karomonde came. Engineer Anya was there as well. All of you that came. The children of the Most High. You had to congregate around the truth. Because you will know this truth and this truth will set you free. If you want to be free, here is where you come to. Ezioku Chineke. I tell you, if you congregate around this gospel, you will be set free. If you abandon this very gospel, then you are finished. You are nothing. That I can assure you. Without IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra, all of you forming family meetings all over the world, without you, there will be no Biafra. Chukwu Abiama is giving us Biafra because of you. He cannot just bring down his kingdom must be populated by human beings, by people that believe in him, in truth and in every honesty. Because of you, for your sake, Biafra will come. That is why if you are not part of any family meeting anywhere, go and join them. Go and join them, I said. Go and join them and be part of what they are doing. Go and join them. If there is none where you are, start one yourself. Manke Kunaka, all of you should go and form a Biafran family. IPOB family meeting where you are. We are the only ones to cover the whole of the earth. We don't have competitors because nobody can. This project was ordained by heaven. That is why we don't copy people. People are free to copy us. They copy us all the time and they make a mess of it. They copy us because they think every idiot can go on radio to speak. Of course you can't. You can't do it. Everybody try. They steal our name. They customize it. They customize every nonsense they like. They can copy all they like. But now they have asked to see us. Have they asked to see them? The answer is no. We don't have to go to a newspaper to go and forge story to become relevant. That is nonsense. We don't do that type of rubbish. Governments look for us. We don't look for them. That tells you all you need to know. And by the grace of heaven, in the next few days, I'll begin on an embarkation of the tour of those countries to go and see men and women that matter. It's not, you won't hear about it, you'll read about it on a page of a newspaper because we're not doing publicity stunt here. We're not doing marketing. We're not selling anything to people. We are preaching the gospel sent from heaven. If you don't know that this is gospel sent from heaven, then you are indeed blind. If you're not listening to Radio Biafra, you're blind already anywhere. Where we promise to go and introduce CHK relay stations, we are doing so. It's costing money, but we are doing it. Everybody must try to come forward to support this very effort. With the truth, we destroy the zoo. So says Yoku. We may not even, somebody's telling me the other day, we might even need to fire one shot. Only with the truth, we destroy them. And this evening we are starting with the truth because the barrister is with me. Even when he's not, I still speak the truth. Because that truth is what will set you free. Without that very truth, you are finished. You are wallowing in ignorance and destitution. Here we don't want it. Anything I tell you is true. Before heaven and before this earth. If I am lying to you, let Chukwukika be my judge. Anything we tell you on Radio Biafra is correct. But by the time we are saying it, some of you don't believe it. That is why I say, no, I have said this thing to you before and I'll say it again. That is why you must listen very, very attentively. That is why you must hearken to what we are telling you. That everything you hear from Radio Biafra is correct. People are listening from Igbo this evening. In case you were familiar with Radio Biafra before we went to Igbo, you would have heard me say that anybody who runs to the zoo called Nigeria, you always come back in disgrace or with disgrace. I repeat, the same thing happened to Chubo Kadibo. I met Chubo Kadibo in London, at his house in London. There were about 6 of us. He was telling us about how he was running, how he and Buhari were doing it in those days in the AMPP, trying to win election. They were running around. They killed Chubo Kadibo because he was serving one Nigeria. Nnamdi Azikiwe went to Lagos and was doing one Nigeria. Yorubas kicked him out at Ibadan. He came back and disgraced himself by chasing away Eyoita, our own blood and our own flesh, which is why our people need to, in fact, apologize on our knees to Efik and Ibibio because they are one people. Only slight difference in language. In dialect, let me put it that way. So before you say that somebody from Efik or Ibibio let you down, you let them down first. Do you know we had a brother from Calabar who was at Enugu as the head of government business? Then his name was Professor Eyoita. That's his name. If anyone attended UNN as I did, you will know that you even have a hostel for him at UNN, Eyoita Hall, if you remember. Those of you that went to UNN, which is University of Nigeria and Soka. You see Eyoita Hall. Professor Eyoita is from Efik. Calabar, to be precise, or that very area, because in those days, if we identify people by the nearest metropolis or the city where they come from, so we can confidently say that Eyoita is Calabar. What happened to Eyoita should not have happened to anybody else, and that was why the Yorubas capitalized and said that Igbos are domineering, and this whole thing held. Despite that, the Biafran 9th Army fought gallantly in Calabar, mind you. They fought very, very gallantly in Calabar, the 9th Army of the 9th Army of Biafra in those days. Do you know that Azikiwe was disgraced by Yoruba people? He was playing one Nigeria card. They kicked him out. He came to Enugu and removed Eyoita. That is why you have problem with Ibibio and Efik. It's not because they betrayed you during the war, because they did not. You betrayed them first. That is why you need to apologize to them to start with. We continue. I told you that anybody who goes to the zoo, you come back with disgrace. Do you know the man called Chibika Mechi? He nicknamed himself Rotimi because he wanted the Yorubas to accept him. So if Yorubas accept him, then Awasa can accept him. This idiot is not a student of history. He's a young man. I give that to him. He has run River State for about 8 years and he has stolen a bit of money. He wants to become relevant on a national stage. So he thinks that being an Igbo man, of course, they claim they are not Igbo, which is very foolish and stupid of them. That's the debate for another day. He was running to Awasa Fulani to serve them. He used all the money belonging to River State to fund Awasa Fulani electioneering campaign. In spite of the fact that Awasa Fulani people own 98% of all the oil blocks in Biafra land. I want you to understand the logic and the stupidity of our people. He has served them. Do you know that Buhari was traveling to Germany, his first decent official trip? In spite of, or should I say, despite everything that Amechi did for him, they dropped Amechi, he did not go with them. He has never ever attended any state security meeting. But this was a man that spent the money belonging to River State serving Awasa man. When Buhari was coming to Iguacha, you call Port Harcourt, those of you who don't know, children of yesterday. You know, you call it Port Harcourt after a white man. I'm here in England right now broadcasting. I have never come across any village named called Borokri or named Okeke or Kafo. We are the only people answering white man's name. That shows how stupid we are. Anyway, of course, we are black. A debate for another day also. Do you know that today Amechi has been abandoned? They have told him, do you see Amechi standing behind Buhari as a bodyguard? Do you see how you disgrace? I told this man, this Chibika Amechi, I warned him that this will happen to you. That is why we saw one Agwonere. Anything we tell you comes to pass. When you hear something on Radio Biafra, you don't need to go and say, oh, is it correct? Are you sure that's anything we speak is correct? Anything we tell you is abundantly correct. We don't have any need to lie or to distort story. What for? We say we are whiter than white and whiter than snow. How can we then begin to lie or distort information? We're not into that rubbish. Today, Chibika Amechi has been disgraced, as we told him he would be. He's been disgraced, completely disgraced. A fool. Relegated to irrelevance. Imagine an Awasa man relegating an Igbo man to irrelevance. A Biafran for that matter. Not just Igbo speaking, but Biafran. Your name is Chibike Amechi. You say you're not Igbo. You must be a bastard indeed. Must be a very big bastard. These are the types of idiots that are giving birth to us around the Igbo. Your name is a Lechi. You say you are not Igbo. Your name is Wike. You say you're not Igbo. That goes to show you have mental problem. Your brain is not correct. Do you see somebody as Tony Blair answering Blair, which is a proper Scottish name? You come and tell him, oh, you're not Scottish, or that you're not British. Are you not foolish? You see somebody answering Harold Smith. You say, oh, your name is Harold Smith, but I'm from Congo. They will say you're daft. You're an animal. These are some of the nonsense right now going on in Igbo. I don't blame them anywhere. Harcourt is not their name. Harcourt was the Secretary of State for the colonies in the British cabinet. They are answering the name of a white man, so you don't blame them. The stupidity is natural. You answer an Igbo name means you're Igbo. Your name tells you who you are. That is why even before they enroll you in primary school, they say, what is your name? What is your date of birth? 3 things they ask you. What is your name, date of birth, and where were you born? Or where do you come from? What is your name? My name is Chibika Amechi. Where are you from? I am from, I think, what is it? Is it Omok he's from or whatever? What is that name of that Igbo village? Not Ikwere. Is it Ikwere in fact? Ikwere, let's say Ikwere. Or is it a Che? And who are you? I am, where do you come from? I am Ikwere, for instance. Ikwere is a subgroup of which people? Miss Niger Delta. All this while you've been mentioning Igbo names. When it comes to where you come from, you put an English name. That shows you're stupid. It shows you're ignorant. And that is why you have no running water and no electricity. Little wonder. This is Radio Biafra. Amechi disgraced before. But look at how this son of the Most High Chukwukika Biama is standing behind Alamajiri as their bodyguard. The picture is here for everybody to see. In fact, I saw it on Radio Biafra. That is our page on Facebook. That's why I saw this picture. It's quite humiliating. For Buzona Asuka bodyguard. Like a megad to an Awasa man who is uncircumcised and somebody who worships the devil. And you call yourself a human being because all of you scrambling for relevance in the zoo called Nigeria, looking for the zoo to recognize your handiwork. Can you see how you are disgracing yourselves? Because you have no class. You have no honor. You have no dignity. You know, some of you think that class is how much money you have. If Wazirike has money he has made from the zoo, from our freedom fighting, he's making money with it. Does he have class? Does he have taste? The answer is no. Class, you're either born with it or you acquire it. It's called superior taste. That's what it means. And we have it in abundance, I can assure you. It comes from your culture. It comes from how you were educated. Your education counts, for goodness sake. If you don't have class, you don't have it. If you do, of course you do. And it shows as well. Any Biafran standing behind an Awasa Yoruba person, you're a fool. I have no regard for you. Amechi has been disgraced. Maybe he will come back now and begin to tell you, let us try and get our place together and be free from this nonsense. Very soon he will see what the militants have also seen. That there is no way in one Nigeria, one zoo, one demonic enclave. We continue. Our signature headline today is that Amechi has been disgraced, as I told them. You say you're from Niger Delta, again, you'll be ashamed of yourself. By the time Awosa is done with you, you will know. Awosa sees all of you as Biafrans. Don't you know that? They call you Nyamri before they kill you in Awosa. You're still following them, showing how foolish you are. You think an Awosa man will love you more than your own flesh and blood. That goes to show that you're demented mentally. Mentally, you're not fit to be called a human being. Because you forgot that blood is indeed thicker than water. How can your own blood abandon you? And you think that an Hausa man, Alamajiri from Mali. These are people, these are Normans that came all the way from Mali, from Timbuktu, to inhabit what is today known as Sokoto. From there, they conquered Hausa. Hausa helped them to conquer other people, including you. Who killed Ken Sarawiwa? I'm asking you, who bombed Odi? Who killed all your mama and your papa when Yaradua was in power? Any Igbo man? The answer is no. Then it's time to review your stupidity. It's time to actually come to the... As the Igbo-speaking people are apologizing to Efik and Ibibio, I think that the whole of the so-called Niger Delta should be apologizing to the Igbos as well. I think. Because that is the way to heal a wound. You must come out genuinely and say you are sorry for the mistakes you've made. This is Radio Biafra. We must continue. ISIS will enter the zoo and Chad unless... And this is from an Islamic newspaper. As I told you before, anything you hear on Radio Biafra is correct. I told you on this platform that they will come for you. You see, let me tell you one thing that people don't know because you don't know history. I forgive some of you because in your schools in the zoo, they don't teach you anything. I want some people to actually go and sit down and study the history of Islam. Islam is the only religion that has never stopped growing. Islam is the only religion that has never stopped expanding through militancy and war. Others have stopped, only Islam. Christianity is based on convincing people, telling them about the message of hope and restoration of Yahweh Yeshua. Of course, immensely corrupted. That we know for sure. But Islam believes in expanding through war, and that war is coming. Now, I must be put on record. And Uchemefo, I want you to record this very broadcast and play it all the time for our people to also understand and listen very carefully. And I will say it tonight. And if you come to me in the future, I'll refer you to the broadcast of the 8th of June, 2015. And that I made this very comment I'm about to make now at precisely 10 minutes to 8 p.m. in the evening. If ISIS comes down into the zoo, of course, they're part of Boko Haram anyway. If they because they have forged an alliance already. If they launch any attack with the name of ISIS on the zoo soil, if you come to us to give us weapons, I will decline it. I will allow them to kill all of you before we mount any counteroffensive. Let me tell you one thing that you don't understand. Some of you claim you went to school, but you didn't go to school. Because if you went to school, you will understand how Islam works. Islam is coming for you. They must come for you. It's a MUST, must. There is nothing anybody can do about it. Only you can defend yourselves. This headline here is a confirmation if you need one. Atiku Abubakar said it yesterday. Today is being confirmed that ISIS is coming. Not just Boko Haram, but the real bad people that are coming. They need access to the oil. And they will get it to secure their financial base for their continued expansion within the whole of sub-Saharan Africa. The zoo is seen as pivotal. And Biafra land is where the resources that they're looking for is lying in. They don't trust Buhari anymore. Buhari was their godfather. They no longer trust him. I mean, Boko Haram in this instance. Buhari, they thought, would give them Sharia immediately. Buhari saying, I don't belong to anybody. From that day, they intensified their bombing. Some of you cannot reason. You cannot see very well because you're blind. But at least you're lucky. You're listening to Radio Biafra. Very, very lucky indeed. I'm telling you the truth. Or else, I can't fufu in your blindness. It is that darkness we've come to shed light on that you can see properly. If they enter the zoo, I will not command this army. And I need guns and I have the men. I need guns and I need bullets. That's all we need. And then we win. I have been sounding this warning. I've been telling you, you think we are joking. They are coming. Your mothers will be raped. Your sisters will be married off as slaves. I'm telling you that now. Right as I speak, write it down. Biafra land will be decimated. Unless we equip this army to defend us. If we don't equip our army to defend us, in other words, if we don't march this year, it will be very, very difficult for us to recover. Forget all this nonsense in the ocean. All these so-called pro-Biafra groups you're saying, Awasa brought them out to confuse you. Awasa brought them out. That is why they cannot say what we are saying or do what we are capable of doing. These are Awasa groups and you are not listening. You are not listening. Because the devil has gone into all these idols that you worship. The devil has gone inside you to harden your heart, to blind your eyes that you can no longer see. That day, I will tell you to remember the broadcast of the 8th of June, 2015. I will tell you to go back to it. I need guns and I need weapons. If I don't have guns and bullets, the army of Biafra cannot defend your towns and villages. The sooner you get that into your thick skull, the better for everybody. You are black people, you don't reason, I know that for sure. But the sooner you take this very message seriously, the better for everybody. Or else you're finished. ISIS is coming. They will enter the zoo and Chad very, very shortly. Not as Boko Haram. They are coming in as their franchise and as their name dictates. ISIS is coming. If you like, you make haste while the sun is shining, or if you like, you can continue to be dumb and stupid. That is entirely up to you. I won't be there, but you'll be dead anyway. And Radio Biafra will not report it, and nobody will. If you like, you give us guns. If you like, you don't. We are trying to save you, not you saving us. We continue. PDP suspends too for diverting Jonathan's campaign fund. What is new? Fraud everywhere. These are the things that the world don't seem to fathom or cannot take in. Every baboon in the zoological republic, every monkey in the zoo, by which I mean Nigerian, every Nigerian is a thief, is a rogue, is here confirmed. Even PDP funds are being diverted, and what is new? PDP is a criminal mercenary. So stealing funds from them. Everybody is a thief. Inspector General of Police is a thief and a lion. Chief Justice is a rogue. Everybody, they have their hands in the cookie jar. Everybody is a thief. And as I have said before, Barrister disagrees with me, but I'll keep saying it because that's my conviction and my belief. If I were white people, if you say you are a Nigerian, I'll put you in jail as soon as you come into my country. Unless you speak out. If you say you are Arewa, I don't mind. If you say you Oduduwa, I don't mind. You're going to do fraud, I don't mind what you're going to do. Odu, forging certificate as a Yoruba person, I don't mind. If you say you're Biafran, I don't mind. Once you proclaim Nigeria, immediately take you to prison because you're a thief. Every Nigerian is a thief. Every Nigerian is a rogue. Certified criminal. Even if you are not born a criminal, by associating with that name, the demon goes inside you and you begin to steal and to lie and to cheat, to defraud people. That is what Nigeria does to you, the zoological republic. That zoo, even PDP, they still, and they want to win election. Yet they're diverting funds from one place to the other. Very, very sad indeed. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are direct, and Chukwu Kikabiama is presiding over our proceedings here on earth. An NGO is demanding 4 billion naira refund from lawmakers for the ill-fated constitution amendment process. It cost a whopping 4 billion. I talk about criminality and rogues. Sometimes when I'm very critical of black people, some of you say, oh, they were on in this COG because you're foolish. I won't insult you if you're not daft. It takes somebody of extraordinary stupidity and hopelessness to go and vote a criminal into power. What do you expect? The people coming to you to canvass you should vote for them. They are rogues, but you still go ahead and vote for them. What do you expect? That is why now a group is asking for 4 billion to be refunded because of the ill-fated constitution amendment. I will give you the news in greater detail later, so you will begin to appreciate the level of decadence and stupidity prevalent in the zoological republic. Some of you don't know that, do you? You don't know what is happening. Of course, I don't blame you. You are black. You don't reason very well. That is one thing that we do very well. Black people. As soon as we are put into all these artificial boundaries drawn up by Europeans, you know, the white man is very clever. They come and they draw your boundary for you. As Yorubas are now, they divided Yoruba into 3. Yoruba is in Togo. No, in fact, into 4. Yoruba is in Ghana. Yoruba is in Togo. Yoruba is in Benin Republic. Yoruba is also in the Zoological Republic. They all speak Yoruba language. They understand each other. They eat a wedu and amala. But they can never be one country or one nation, because the white man said so. And now, in all these countries, you have people that claim they are intellectuals, they are Yoruba, they are fine brain, you know, they are Nobel laureate. They are stolen mandate, I call it. You cannot see a Yoruba man. Listen very carefully. That is what I love about white people. When they were messing up the brains of black people from Africa, they did a very wonderful job. Wonderful, wonderful job. Do you know you have a professor, Yoruba man, who is living in Togo, for instance? He speaks French. French is the primary language. There is a Yoruba man also in Benin Republic. He speaks French also. Voulez-vous? Then you come into the Zoological Republic. You have Yorubas there as well. They're speaking primarily English. The Yoruba man from Togo, the Yoruba man from Benin Republic, or from, yes, of course, the Benin Republic, and the one from Yoruba, they can never sit together and say, why is it that you are Yoruba, I'm Yoruba, and we're in different countries? No, never. Do you know why they can never say that? Because they are black people. Because their brains are not developed to that extent. That is why it's called, you know what it takes to build a skyscraper, to build an 80-story building. Do you know what it takes? You know that in this world, as some people are building 80-story, some are building mud houses. Are you aware of that? No, you don't know, but I'm telling you. As people are racking their brains, those that read architecture, thinking, how do we build, the tallest building in the world? There are some people struggling to build a mud house. Do you know the difference between these two people? Is their brain, the content of the white matter in their skull. The way it computes is what is the difference. Poverty and wealth. Poor countries, rich countries. Why? Because the rich countries, the particular way they think that the poor ones can never see. That is why you have slums, and that is why you have poverty. That is why you have deprivation, and that is why people can go and vote for criminals. It is only in black Africa that people can go to vote in an election and they vote in people who are criminals. What does that tell you about black African people? All that you need to know, if you ask me. This is Radio Biafra, and we must continue. If your people are not listening, go and tell them to join us. We are on CHK 97.6 Biafra FM. We are on 88.0. We are on 102.1. Any of those 3 dials, you will get Radio Biafra where you are in Biafra land. We are on satellite 17 degrees east. We have 6 satellites carrying us. With 1 bonus, we're making it 7. Even in the Middle East, you can get Radio Biafra on satellite. Nobody has done that before. But we did. And only diaspora funded it. Nobody from Biafra land. Because we said to them, go and keep your money. Attend meetings, give us volunteers to fight in the war. Diaspora will fund it. And that's exactly what we are doing. Do you know how many soldiers we are feeding every blessed week? No, you don't know and you don't want to know. And we are doing it because heaven is watching. Chukwokika Biama is in control. Absolute and total control. And you're about to witness what will happen. You will tell your children this story. And as I said, they were asking you, how did they manage to do it? And then you will explain to them how we did it. By the grace of heaven and not that of man. This Radio Biafra will continue. In every truth and honesty, we are simply unstoppable. Who is going to stop us? It's the jazz, not bad. Even if you are, you can never ever prevail. Unpaid salaries, Winners Chapel rallies food aid for Osun workers. For Osun, which is a Yoruba state. When I tell you something, you don't believe me, I look at you as a fool because I told you don't go to Yoruba churches. You thought I was joking. There are people who have not been paid by TAOG for the past 9 months in Abia. They have Winners Chapel. These same people go to Winners to go and give them food and money. They are taking it to Osun State to pay Yoruba workers. Are you listening? Winners Chapel is running a free soup kitchen and food for Yoruba workers. All of you idiots, where in Biafra land, when I speak, an idiot will call on air and say I castigate churches because they are the cesspit of evil. They are not designed to worship the Most High. They're idol worshippers. You contribute your money in Winners Chapel. This evening, I'm telling you where the money is going. Because Winners Chapel, they have come out in Osun State to say, we are going to give food to Osun workers, by which they mean Yoruba workers. Who are the people contributing the money? Useless people. When I insult Igbo people, hey, you insult, I say, I'm telling you the truth. Because you're foolish. Winners Chapel is feeding Yoruba with your money. How about your own workers? Have they paid them? The answer is no. Why are your workers not being fed by Winners Chapel in your town? Because you are foolish. Don't worry. On Sunday, you go and sow more seed and plant more sand or soil or rock, whatever rubbish that it is you do in Yoruba churches in the area. You don't understand, do you? Of course, black. What do you know? Ever wondered why there is no running water in your village? Have you ever asked yourself that question before? Why don't you have electricity in our village? Where I am right now, if I want to swim in fact, I have a bath and I have a shower. If I want to have a bath, I go into the bathroom and I lie down in the bath and I run hot and cold water, get the normal temperature and I lie in it with bubble bath. If I want shower, I go to the other bathroom and I can have a shower in my house. That's what I have. Water all the time, electricity all the time. I don't have that luxury in my village, Isama Farugu. Never. Have you asked yourself why is that the case? Because the people where I am right now, their brain functions differently. They think in a different way. That is all. As somebody once told us when I was an undergraduate, you cannot keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. It's impossible. Every day, and you want to be developed. You are dreaming. You need to be a radical. You need to radicalize your thinking, your senses. The way you approach things needs to change 100, in fact, 360 degrees. You need to turn around and face your facts squarely in the face. Look in the mirror at yourself and say, I am indeed a monkey or a baboon. You don't have electricity. You're not a human being. In the 21st century, you don't have running water. You are not, I don't mean overhead tank. You know, some of you say, oh, we have borehole. Of course. How do you expect them to think? The white man that developed sumo for you that pumps water from a well, do they have borehole in their countries? The answer is no. Have you ever bothered to ask yourself, why don't they have boreholes? I don't think you will ask. You're a black person from Africa. Very foolish indeed. We must continue. Ezekwase, the very wayward, useless Igbo harlot, of course, fathered by Yoruba people, is being reliably gathered, canvasses for Fashola presidency. She's answering an Igbo name. I am Jigun that as soon as Biafra comes, there'll be DNA test at the airport, at every border post in Biafra land. We want to know who gave birth to you. I will send you back there. When we speak, people say we are insulting people and not by the others. I remember doing a program on this harlot. People were talking about nonsense. I said, what do you know? I don't know who sent you, but I know who sent me. Chukwa Abiyama puts words in our mouth to speak. As I'm talking to you right now, there is no written paper. Those who have seen me broadcast live will attest to that. There is no written paper. I don't read or cram anything before I come on air. I see it and I preach it the way it is. Ezekwesili, as I told you, was the woman the husband sent out to go and do prostitution in order to get ministerial position. And she succeeded. Do you know what she's saying today? She is canvassing for Fashola presidency, Yoruba man. I want people to understand the philosophy of Radio Biafra and what we are doing. That we preach the truth always. You may not like the way we put it, but frankly, we don't give a toss. If you like, get angrier. If you like, don't get angry. That is your business. We are speaking the truth. And you must listen to the truth. Because that bitter truth will set you free. She did not canvass for any Igbo presidency. She's not telling you that Yoruba has been there before in Basanjo. Awasa has taken over. He's now gone back to canvass for Yoruba. How about Igbo, where she comes from? The answer is 0. And you want me to respect her? It's impossible, of course it is. Now you understand the reason why. Willow Hanez and Diatron and she says something that says no. The police is the least corrupt organization in the zoo, according to the Inspector General of Police. Monumental stupidity, isn't it? I think we're going to do a compilation for them. Once Biafra TV comes, we'll direct them, so they'll be seeing how they behave on the road. They are finished. Our TV is coming. They are finished. It is the worst institution in the most corrupt and laughable in the whole world. The zoo police. We continue. 63 refugees taking refuge in Plateau. 63,000. I hasten to add. 63,000. The same thing they did to Biafran kids they are doing to them. As I told them, what goes around comes around. Plateau people, all the things you wished on Biafra is now happening to you, and ironically enough, being carried out by the same people you were serving their interests between 67 and 1970. Awasa Fulani. As I said, Yoruba punishment will come last and it will be the worst of them all. Yoruba will suffer. You watch it and see what is going to happen. 63,000 refugees stranded in Plateau in the Zoological Republic. We are reporting this very evening. They are saying that the military has now bowed to the terrorists and moved their central command to Maiduguri. This is what I can only refer to as military suicide. Moving your central command to the territory of the enemies. This is the type of men we are going to meet at war, and that is why I'm confident we'll defeat them. I am very, very confident we'll defeat them. If Boko Haram can do exactly what the Taliban did to the Helmand province, that very command post of the British outpost in that region of the world, in Afghanistan, and overrun it. So what Buhari is doing is to say that if should Boko Haram try to overrun their Maiduguri command center, then the Zoo army is finished. And this man is a major general. I said I did not go to military school. I will command men at war, and he will do his and will defeat him. And I'm telling you that we will. That's what I'm telling you is exactly what is going to happen. Look at them. This is their military strategy to move the defense, the central overall high command to move them to maybe to go and kill them there. Who knows? And hand them over to ISIS. Before ISIS comes, they will seriously degrade the capacity of the high command of the Zoo army to be able to fight. Daft people indeed. Very, very daft. They have listened to, they are in a dictatorship now. You know, some of you don't know the difference between a dictatorship and that of democracy. You think because the man is an army man before he answers Major General, he can do whatever he likes. You know, that is your understanding of democracy. That's not the way we see it. But of course, I don't blame you. You're a black African. I wouldn't expect you to know any better. Another petrol tanker crashes in the heart of darkness. At least the flames coming from it will illuminate the deepest and darkest recesses of the mind, the very devilish mind of the Yoruba. Another petrol tanker crashes in Lagos. Very sad indeed. People are dying every blessed day. Welcome to the damnable Zoological Republic. And this Islamic State that is coming, this ISIS that is coming to the zoo, they are looking for nuclear weapons. ISIS claims it can smuggle devices through the zoo, Mexico, to the USA. It was an old news we covered before, but it's back again. ISIS said it can move weapons. They are using the zoo as an outpost. You people are finished. I've been telling you, if we don't march this very year, don't blame me, please. I need weapons and bullets. I need to that way we can defend our borders and win. I have been telling you, some of you, I hear some of you sent your eardrums to the supermarket to go and do shopping. You're not listening to what we're saying. Boko Haram is coming, and behind them is ISIS, and they have no mercy. When they overrun you, USA will not help you. Look at what's happening in Iraq and also in Syria. Look at Kurdistan. Look at the fate of the Christian Coptic churches in Libya and also in Egypt. People are being slaughtered every blessed day. If they hit the ground in the Zoological Republic, you are finished. You are finished, I'm telling you. Now is the time to act if you want us to. I want to march this year. I want to lead this army this very year, 2015. The zoo must come to an end. We need weapons. I've been telling you, you think we are joking. We need weapons to defend you from your own stupidity. Some of you are so stupid you cannot see what is coming, but we can. We want to defend you from your own ignorance. Very, very important, please. Gunmen have now killed a zoo businessman in South Africa. So we are reporting. APC governors are calling for emergency meeting as Osibanjo meets House of Reps elect. There is crisis in the Boko Haram party of APC. They are into crisis and I expect them to be an alliance of the devil and darkness. What do you expect? G7, France, Canada, Germany back Buhari on fight against Boko Haram. We expect them to. They will back him. They backed Osama bin Laden before, didn't they? America, CIA backed him in the fight against Russia, remember? And Osama bin Laden turned around and then beat them on the backside, I should say, because you are listening, isn't it? So they also backed Muammar Gaddafi, remember? Oh, I'm sorry. They also backed Saddam Hussein, remember? Of course, USA backed Saddam Hussein to fight Iran. After a while, who killed Saddam Hussein? The same USA. So getting this kiss of death from these people is nothing new to us. We know how they operate, which means that Buhari cannot last. It's a kiss of death. I don't know why people are panicking or some are rejoicing, saying, oh, can't you see he's been endorsed by the G7? Who are the G7? Of course, they are your gods, isn't it? You believe in worshiping idol. Maybe one day. I see some of you follow. There was a white man that came from somewhere saying he's Jesus. Not Ali Benine with his stretched hair and the white robe in Ghana. Some of you were following him, saying Jesus has come again. Black people indeed. Very, very black in every way possible. Let us continue, please. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are direct. Of all institutions in the zoo, the police is the least corrupt. This news, I find it personally fascinating that a human being can rise up and speak such unspeakable garbage, utter rubbish. If there was one, utter rubbish. The plot against Ogbonnayonu reminds me of every other Igbo idiot we have won before. Do not support Hausa Fulani, but they don't listen. They tell you that they're planning a strategy, that the zoo is a tripod, is standing on 3 legs. If one leg is rubbish. At the end of the day, you will be disgraced out of office. Now they are writing about a plot against Ogbonnayonu, and as we know, we will. This is another latest in the list of very inglorious Hausa Fulani servants. The crumbs fall from the master's table. They give you some. You buy land in Abuja, or you rent a house in Abuja, in Maitama, or in Ashokoro, whatever rubbish they call it. You think you've arrived. An Igbo leader who never goes to an Igbo village. You live all your useless life in Lagos and in Abuja. The only day we are going to see you is when they bring back your useless, lifeless body in the village. They say one big man, elite, has died. How wretched and pathetic. And they ask us, why do we want Biafra? Mad people. Let us continue the news in greater detail, please. As we told Chibika Mechi, the very idiot who gave away the money belonging to Rivers State, to Hausa Fulani, hoping for a good job in office, but nothing is happening. He is now living his life in utter and shambolic regret. Very sad indeed. Let us continue with this very news. It's very sad indeed, I must say. It's very, very sad, but what can we do? Rotimi Amechi, his name is Chibike, but he changed it to Rotimi so Yorubas can accept him or so he can marry a Yoruba girl, I don't know. Chibike Amechi was disgracefully dropped out of Buhari's entourage to the G7 meeting in Germany. I think this news is also at RadioBiafra.co. Now they offered reasons as to why Buhari dropped him. The self-appointed aide to President, this is a man who should have dignified himself by exemplifying what good governance is in Rivers State. He decided to squander all the money pursuing cutting Hausa attention. Here he has gotten it and have abandoned him. And we're here. Let's continue. The self-appointed aide to President Muhammadu Buhari and former governor of Rivers State, Mr. Chibike Rotimi Amechi, was dropped at the last minute as members of Buhari's entourage to the G7 meeting in Germany. In that entourage was only Hausa Fulani, no more federal character. When it is the turn of other people, they'll be telling you, reminding you about federal character. If it was Jonathan that did the same thing, every Hausa Yoruba paper will be full of it. I want to let Chibike Amechi understand, you call yourself Rotimi. One day you'll be a Timiro, whatever your name is. How foolish you are. They have dumped you. They have dropped you to let you understand how insignificant you are. The money you could have used to continue the work you were doing in building infrastructure, at least road, in River State, you contributed towards the election of an Hausa Fulani man. Today, he has abandoned you. The same thing will happen to each and every one of you, running around Hausa Fulani, waiting for the crumbs that will fall from the master's table. The same thing will happen to Okoro Hausa. Okoro Hausa will experience the same rubbish. Very sad indeed. Let's continue. Although Amechi was in the meeting, In spirit, as in the picture that was shown also, he was dropped on the advice of some northern elders who were uncomfortable with his pestering of Buhari since he was elected. Let's continue. Let me tell you why. This is what, who used to say this before? I think it's Uchemefo that will say this, that once you are a traitor, if you go over to another camp, you also become a traitor there and they will never trust you. Although Amechi was in the meeting, they claim that a man like Amechi, who betrayed his own brother, former President Jonathan Dimbesilik, can do anything to get relevance. And the better Buhari, can get rid of him, the better for the new terrorist in the zoo. Amechi, are you listening? You see, Amechi made the mistake of thinking that Buhari will be like Jonathan. Jonathan is an imbecile. Jonathan is an idiot, complete and utter fool. Awasa doesn't reason that way. Awasa is smarter than Jonathan. Jonathan is a fool. Do you think Awasa will ever take you seriously? I warned you here on this platform on Radio Biafra Chibika Amechi that you are backing up the wrong tree. I told you will come back a disgrace and a failure. You don't see before you was failed. Nnamdi Azikiwe failed. Nzogwu failed. Ekwueme failed. Chubokadibo failed. Everybody who has ever gone to the zoo from Biafra land came back a failure or as a dead corpse. Dead human being. Ask Cancer Wiwa, ask Adakaboro. Even Jonathan came back a failure. You people don't listen because you don't reason. As long as you are from Biafra land, by which I mean Ishekiri, Urobo, Isoko, if you're from Azon, if you come from a Gala, from Idoma, you are Igbo, you are Ibibio, you are Efik. I am telling you the truth. If you serve the zoo, you will come back in disgrace. The only thing left for you to fight for is Biafra. Only Biafra can save you. Without Biafra, you are nothing. We must continue. Chibika Amechi disgraced. Number one, let's continue with the news this evening, please. ISIS will enter the zoo as we warned you that they would enter the zoo. Some of you thought we were joking, but they are coming. Let us tell you what an Awasa paper is reporting from Leadership. Leadership newspaper is Awasa paper, in case you don't know. Let us tell you what Awasa is reporting on their own activities, so you'll understand how serious this whole matter is. A zoo former British police officer and security and governance consultant, Mr. Vince Onyekwelo, has warned that unless the zoo government and Niger Republic act immediately, the dreaded Islamic sect of Iraq and Syria, ISIS, may be on their way into both countries. Maybe he must be listening to Radio Biafra, but nobody gives us credit, so we don't really give a damn anyway, as long as we're doing the work that Chukwu Kikabema asked us to come and do. Onyekwele gave the warning yesterday during a live television program, Sunrise Daily on Channels Television, where he said that with the capture of the Libyan International Airport, I hope you're listening very well. All of you that buried your head in the sand like ostrich. I hope your body is still showing outside because ISIS is coming to blow it up. I warned you, you didn't listen. Now you will see the repercussion. So that next time when you hear our voice on Radio Biafra, anything we ask you, as Obi Dobienu, our brother will say, anything we ask you to do, you will do it by force then. By then it will be too late. By then some of you will be dead. Because ISIS is coming. No longer from Radio Biafra, coming from the people that know. We continue. According to him, with the proximity between the borders of Niger, Chad, and Libya, the zoo must intensify collaboration with both countries to ensure that ISIS terrorists do not sneak into the zoo. If they can fight Syria to a standstill, ISIS convinced Obama regime to go and bomb Syria. If they can break down Iraq, which was well fortified by the Americans, if they can crush the armies of Syria, if they can go to Libya and dismantle what is left there, is it a corrupt, weak, and imbecile and hopeless, cowardly army like the zoo that they cannot defeat? As I said, in the end, the army of Biafra is the only thing that can defeat ISIS. If I speak, write it down on a piece of paper. Only us can. And that is why it is in the interest of America and United Kingdom to allow the emergence of Biafra. Only Biafra can stop them. They must know this by now. Only Biafra can stop the relentless assault and advance of Islamic State. They are coming. It's too late. They have taken over Libya airport, so for them to come to the zoo is very easy. Mind you, Libya shares the same border with Niger, and Niger shares the same border with you. You are finished, and Niger is where Sanusi Lamido Sanusi ancestral home is. Do you know that? He has a house in the capital of Niger, Niamey. Are you aware of that? The Emir of Sokoto. Yet he's the 4th most powerful man in the zoo. How sad can that be? But let's continue all the same. Asked whether the zoo should be worried that ISIS has taken over the Libyan airport, he responded in the affirmative, saying the development should give enough room for concern. Yes, I'm quoting him now. Yes, we should be worried because if you look at the distance between Libya and the zoo, the demarcation between Chad and Niger Republic, now the question is what the zoo government is doing to make sure that Niger and Chad are doing enough to protect their border between them and Libya. Who is Chad? If ISIS marches against Chad, breeze they will disappear. Only breeze, they'll blow at them, they'll just run away. Who is Chad against ISIS? Do you know what? ISIS is rich. They have access to weapons. They have willing volunteers from all over the world. If they march against Chad, Chad will not exist. And then they come into the zoo to link up with their brother and cousin Boko Haram and Buhari, and then you're gone. Who was the toast? You hear them shouting Alakoba in Okigwe. You start running about saying, what do we do? You then remember my phone number. You'll be calling, oh, what that thing you said has happened. What do we do? That time, I will not even talk to you. You say, let us meet. I will say, let us meet. At that very meeting, if I have a pistol with me, I will shoot you dead in the head because you are an idiot. I don't work with fools. You must make hay while the sun is still shining. And mind you, the flag of ISIS is black. And they're coming. You look for them in the afternoon. In the morning, not when it's nighttime, you're asking me to look at ISIS flag because I can't. It's dark. And their flag is also black. Use your senses and use your brain, please. If at all that some of you can reason. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are, of course, direct. We are broadcasting all the way from London to the entirety of humanity with the time now standing at approximately 24 minutes past 8 in the evening. We are live and direct, and the barrister has come with me. Barrister is with me. The chairman and secretary of the PDP, the criminal enterprise that they say is a political party, is basically a criminal organization. An organization dedicated to criminality and thievery. The other one is dedicated to terrorism and Islamization. This one, they have two parties, APC, PDP. One is dedicated to Islamization. The other one is a temple, is a tabernacle to thieving, is worship. PDP perfected stealing without conscience. You know, you can steal with conscience. PDP made stealing so glamorous that you can go on. And imagine somebody leaving office and they go to the treasury and they empty it. And after emptying the treasury, they go to the bank and take loan on behalf of the state. They send away their wives and their children abroad, and they travel abroad and say, waka to all of you. Don't worry, next time he comes back and you vote for him again, making you the monkey and the baboon that you are. Very sad, isn't it? We must continue this Radio Biafra. The chairman and secretary of PDP, Shiroro local government area of Niger State, Alhaji Iro Kurebe and Ibrahim Issa, respectively, have been suspended. These are Hausa people, mind you. Suspended by the world chairman for allegedly diverting former imbecilic President Goodluck Jonathan campaign fund meant for 184 polling units in the area. Hausa and stealing. They go hand in hand. You asked Fulani, why did you conquer Hausa people? Because most of you don't know that Hausa today is under Fulani bondage, but that's how life is. We are here to educate you. Fulani conquered Hausa. Why? Othman Danfodia said, because Hausa is corrupt. You can't cure them of corruption. As long as Hausa is there will always be corruption. As long as Yoruba is there will always be fraud. That is why the zoo can never, ever, in 1 trillion years, be developed. Impossible. Have you traveled from the zoo airport, as I have? I want you to travel along Oshodi. If you're going towards the airport, look on both sides of the road. You will see how wretched people are mentally. You will see why I call Nigerians baboons and monkeys. The state of the road alone leading to an international airport is so disgraceful. You want to round up everybody there and flog them. I'm telling you the truth. People that live there are not human beings. I swear it. They may look human, but Nigerians are not human beings. I can tell you that. Travel to the airport and you see very, very ugly and filthy. No class, no taste, no decency. Of course, they are baboons and monkeys. What do you expect? They have stolen money, PDP. Money meant for the Jonathan campaign. Awasa stole the money so that Buhari can win. and you have somebody from Biafra land running to APC wanting to join them, and you think we are well? Of course we are not. Let us continue this radio. I don't feel sorry for myself. That's why I speak the way I do. I have no time for self-pity. Black people keep dwelling in self-pity. Oh, it's the white man that caused it. Can't you see the white man? The white man is not your problem. Your stupidity is your problem. You are foolish. That is why you're poor and wretched. And if others won't tell you, we will. This Yoji black people are useless. They try to blame other people for their shortcomings without looking at themselves and saying, how did this useless brain of mine contribute to my mess I'm in today? That is what we're here to remind you of. A non-governmental organization, they are called Gap Advocacy Initiative, wants members of the Zoo Assembly in Abuja, and that is the House of Reps and House of Senate, where there is not even no code of dressing. They don't have morning dress. They don't have afternoon dress. They don't have any evening dress. They don't have dinner dress. Nobody can distinguish. The same agbada and danchiki they wear to come to debate is the same agbada and danchiki they wear to a party. It's the same dressing they wear. Oh, my goodness me. My goodness me. There is no difference between work and pleasure. That is why they were only able to pass 104 bills in 8 years. Lazy people. People are now asking them to refund the money that they took in order to pass constitutional amendment bill. In a statement made available to AIT on Sunday, the executive director of the group, George Oji, asked the terrorist in charge of the zoo, Muhammadu Buhari, to stop the payment of severance allowances to the members until they refund the money they appropriated for the ill-fated constitutional amendment process. They are being paid their salary every blessed month to pass laws or to debate laws and then pass bills into laws. But they brought them constitutional amendment. They said, for us to pass this very law, we need special money for it. They appropriated for themselves. They said, to pass this law is going to cost 4 billion naira. Oh, dear me. But I was educated in England. I have seen the House of Commons before work. Are you telling me that before they pass any bill that somebody has to go and pay them money? Is that how it works? But in the zoo, this is to tell you how corrupt and filthy they are. Before they are being paid salary, they have furniture allowance, they have house allowance, they have constituency allowance. They are the highest paid lawmakers in the whole world that passes the least laws of all. On top of that, for them to pass an amendment to the constitution, they wanted to be paid, and they were paid 4 billion. And you wonder why your children cannot go to any decent school. You wonder why your village cannot afford a transformer. You wonder why the roads are not built. Because a few people are just taking the money and spending it on themselves and their families. The remainder they take to abroad and put into the white man's bank. The same white man they were blaming before, they bring this stolen money from Africa and they put it there. And then you want me to blame the white man? You must be dreaming. The white man has done nothing wrong. Nothing. You are the ones bringing the money to him. They demanded 4 billion to pass a law which they are being paid to. You voted for them to go and do. They went there to appropriate money for themselves. Did they make the amendment to the constitution? The answer is 0. This group is now asking them to refund the money. Are they going to refund it? The answer is zilch. They will not. They will not. Never refund it. Abacha did not return the money that was stolen. Is it them that will bring back theirs? Everybody's the thief in the zoo. When I tell you, boss, believe me. All of them hypocrites. Everywhere you go to, hypocrites. That is why we are the way we are here in Radio Biafra. Unpaid salaries. All you idiots that went to Yoruba churches and the fool rang yesterday from Edo. I'm waiting for him today to call back if he can. Anytime from now onwards, if I ask you to wait and you don't want to wait, I cut you off. That's what they do. They now come in, you run like a fool and then you run away. No more. As you're going, I'll be stopping you and breaking you down. So you understand the folly and the hopeless nature of the case you're wishing or wanting to present. The state pastor, they're doing it according to state. The state pastor of the Living Faith Church, also known as Winners Chapel, the Yoruba church, promoted by Yoruba media, of course. His name is Olumuyiwa Emmanuel. On Sunday, made a passionate appeal to members of the church to start bringing foodstuff and money to assist members who are civil servants and have not been paid their salaries in the last 7 months. How about the ones in Abia, the ones in Enugu, the ones in Ebonyi? They have not been paid for heaven knows how many years. Who is going to take care of them? Don't worry. There are a few idiots who are there, who are Biafrans. They go to Winners Chapel, they'll contribute money, and they take it to Oshun. When I told you not to go to Yoruba church, you thought I hated them. No, I don't. I hate the hypocrisy. I hate hypocrites. I can't stand them. Why do you think I'm against Ifajun or Wazurike? It's not for any, it's nothing personal. I hate him because he's using the name of Biafra to lie, to cheat, and to deceive, and I won't allow that. If you allow or Wazurike to continue with that nonsense, the same way that some of you are allowing Winners Chapel to get away with this rubbish, that is why you cannot hold anybody to account when they are claiming they're representing you. Going to happen in the past. So those who are coming in the front will become even more corrupt. Had we fallen down on Ifajun or Wazurike for a very long time ago, all these mushroom groups being sponsored by Awasa won't be there today. But of course, what can you do? You love evil. Yoruba Church is providing for Yoruba people. There is none for you. But let me not stop you from going to midweek service tomorrow or Sunday school. I don't know what you're going to go to, or midweek school in your Winners Chapel church. But everything you're donating is going to Yoruba land to feed Yoruba workers. How about your own? Who is going to feed them? Only time will tell how your stupidity is playing out. Another, from one idiocy to another, the capacity for Igbos or Igbo people to disgrace themselves is always there. And they would never pass on such an opportunity. Former Minister of Education and Bring Back Our Girls campaigner, Obi Ezekwesili, has declared her support for immediate past Lagos State Governor Babatunde Raji Fashola should he decide to give a shot at the nation's presidency in the future. She made a declaration on her tweet handle on Sunday, June 7, where she expressed satisfaction for the great works he has done in Lagos State while he was governor. How about Donald Duke of Cross River State? Who did what Donald Duke did? The answer is zero. Nobody. Are you backing Donald Duke to be president? The answer is no. You're either backing Yoruba or Awasa, all of them Muslims. Isn't that very funny? Babatunde Raji Fashola is a Muslim. They are part of the Boko Haram APC Yoruba Awasa Fulani Alliance. For those who do not know, we let you know here on Radio Biafra. Obi Ezekwesili, the wayward, useless Igbo named woman of Yoruba extraction, disgracing herself in Lagos and in Abuja, bringing shame and dishonor upon every Igbo-speaking person. We continue. The Inspector General of Police of the Zoological Republic is saying that the police is the least corrupt in the zoo. I don't know where he got this impression from, but if I say that this is misleading, it is putting it very, very mildly. This is not just misleading. This is sheer, falsification of the facts. Coming from the police, I'm not surprised. This is the most inept, the most corrupt, the most backward, the most wayward organization known to man. What Jonathan is to the presidency anywhere in the world is what the zoo police represents in terms of law enforcement. The worst of its kind you can ever imagine. Inspector General of the Zoo Police, Solomon Arasi, says that the zoo police has the least corrupt officers of all the institutions in the zoo. Now, if the zoo police is as corrupt as they are, and people are saying that they are the least corrupt, imagine how the most corrupt will look like. Nigerian police. Oh dear me. He said this at the annual symposium during a feast of Barracuda, organized by the National Association of Sea Dogs. Feast of Barracuda, organized by the National Association of Sea Dogs. It's a confraternity of Wole Soyinka. A policeman is attending a confraternity meeting. These are the people responsible for all the shenanigans and all the rubbish in our universities. These are the people now, Sea Dogs. A policeman is going to Sea Dogs, Wole Soyinka's gathering. And they are not corrupt. The Feast of Barracuda. Maybe he himself is a sea dog as well. You know, the white man is doing it. Why don't we copy? American universities, they have sorority. They have fraternity, like the Beta Sigma. They will cut, blind DCOG. They copied their own. In America, they are competing to see who will be the best academic student they will have. In the zoo, they are competing who will kill most people. Black people in DCOG, black. Very sad indeed. There's something disgraceful about them. I must tell you the truth. According to the Inspector General of Police, Arase, the police had made frantic efforts in tackling corruption, even among the officers, and had set in motion machinery to fish out corrupt officers in the force. Please, I want you to travel along Onitsha Owerri Road. You will see corruption staring you in the face. If you don't pay them money, they will never ever return your vehicle particulars and keys. People are witnessing this every blessed day, the corruption of the zoo police. If you don't have money, you can never bail anybody. The English that gave them independence, the English that colonized the zoo, because the zoo is still a colony of the English till tomorrow. They don't bail people with money. But in the zoo, of course, anything that black people has a hand in must be tainted. As corrupt as hell. You're telling a policeman, I've just been robbed at Opi Wake. Please, can you help me? Saying there is no petrol in the van, in the hillocks. If you want us to go, pay for petrol. And they are not corrupt. If they are not corrupt, please, can you tell us who is? Very, very sad. We must continue. The zoo, there is no good news, I'm afraid. None whatsoever. More than 63,000 refugees. They call them internally displaced persons. It's the very sexy way of naming people without homes anymore, isn't it? Are taking refuge in various camps in Plateau. Al-Haji Al-Hassan, Brade, Executive Secretary, Plateau State Emergency Management Agency, said in Jos on Monday. Bade told the news agency of the zoo that the refugees were from Borno, Adamawa, Yobe, Nasarawa, Taraba, and Plateau States. Even the people of Gowon are now refugees. How the mighty has fallen. I'm so happy. Very, very glad that even people from Plateau are also refugees today. He explained that those from Borno, Adamawa, and Yobe were victims of insurgency attacks by the Islamic group Boko Haram, while the refugees from Nasarawa and Taraba were displaced by ethno-religious crisis. What is the meaning of that? It means Fulani, Awasa Fulani attacking other people who are not Muslims. I hope you're following. Awasa are using the so-called headsmen to attack ordinary people that have done nothing to them. Nothing. Because they want to Islamize everybody. And today, people from Gowon's place, they are refugees, and I'm so glad about it. Following the terrorist directive to military to move by terrorists, I mean Buhari is the terrorist, in case you don't know. He said, do you know that Boko Haram named him as their chief negotiator? He's on record. Are you aware of that? Do you know Buhari said that he is working for Sharia to spread to all parts of the zoo? No, I'm not sure you're aware of it. Do you also know that Buhari opened his mouth and said an attack against Boko Haram is an attack against the North? And today he's saying he is the president for everybody in the zoo. But only a few months ago he was talking about the North only. Welcome to the Zoological Republic and welcome to the ignorance of black man. Let us continue, please. Following the terrorist Buhari's directive to the military to move its command center to Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, to fight Boko Haram sect, the authorities of the zoo army has heeded the order and concluded arrangement for all service chiefs to move to their entire high command to move to Maiduguri. So all it takes is one shoulder-launched rocket and the building housing these idiots, and they will go to their kingdom come. Do you see how they reason? Do you see how men in the 21st century are commanding their troops? That is why I know they stand no chance against us. And that is why they can never, ever defeat Boko Haram. Not now, not tomorrow, not in the future. The establishment of the command center for Operation Zaman Lafia. Oh, well. The operation is now an Awasa name because remember during Jonathan's time, the operation used to be done in English. Now the code name for the new operation is called Operation Zaman Lafia. But the zoo, the lingua franca is English. The army is fighting oh my goodness me. Oh dear me. It was contained in a press statement signed by the acting director of Army Public Relations. Acting director, no more Lukolade. His name is Colonel Sani Kukashika Usman. But when Jonathan was there, he appointed a Yoruba man. But now Awasa is there, only their people. That is what I love about them. They know how to play this game very well. Only their people surround them. This is Colonel Sani Kukashika Usman. My goodness me. Awasa has taken over. No more Olukolade. He is now the acting director of Army Public Relations. He has taken over from the Yoruba coward. The operation is called by Awasa people Operation Zaman Lafia. No more operation codename this or that. No more English. We have gone to the Awasa territory. One Nigeria, my foot. One Nigeria, my bone, Let me tell you what this colonel said. I was a man. In compliance with presidential pronouncement and the Chief of Army Staff's directive, a reconnaissance and advance team for the establishment of Military Command and Control Center for the Operation Zaman Lafia for the fight against terrorism and insurgency has moved to Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. Operation Zaman Lafia, in a country that has how many languages? 250? Is that correct? Where English is the lingua franca. They are Hausanizing everything else in between. I told you it will happen. This is another confirmation that anything you hear on Radio Biafra is gospel. Do you know the meaning of gospel? Gospel means in our language, Ozioma Chineke, from heaven. That is why anything we say here comes to pass. It's happening every blessed day. As we told you, give us weapons, please, so that we can defend you, or else they will overrun and kill you. Operation Zaman Lafia in a zoo that has over 250 languages. Welcome to the domination of our Fulani. It's over for all of you. I told you it will. Another tanker carrying 33,000 liters of petrol yesterday crashed at the Oribawo bus stop at the Ibejuleki area of Lagos. The crash was the 7th of such incident in the city within the past 7 days. Awasa will go into articulated lorries, they will go into tankers and they will crash it after drinking, what's it called? After, what's that nonsense that they eat? Ugoro. Excess caffeine in the body, they don't sleep, they don't rest. They jump into a tanker and they go and kill people every blessed day. Welcome to the zoo. This is a country where they say that people are living in. I said no to them. What I see every day are baboons and monkeys, animals everywhere. Very sad indeed. Islamic State says they are smuggling weapons. If some of you can understand it, that is. The Islamic State group claims it could purchase a nuclear device from Pakistan and transport it to the United States through drug smuggling channels. The group, also known as ISIS and ISIL, will transfer the nuclear weapon from Pakistan to the zoo, which is Nigeria, or Mexico, where it will be brought to South America and then up to the U.S., according to an operational document allegedly written by kidnapped British photojournalist John Canty and published in Dabik, the group's propaganda website. That is what they do. They are kidnapping Europeans, they are kidnapping white people, and they are still supporting them. Those of us that love white people, that like them, that we are Christians, we are going to Rome, we are going to Canterbury, we are going to Pentecostal revival in America. Nobody likes us. It's only those killing them that they like. That is white man for you. White man loves somebody who brings a fight to him. If you go to a white man and you're begging, they will dismiss you as a nobody. They want war. They love war. They like fighting. If you come to them with war and killing and death, they respect you. It's in their nature. That's the way they are. That is why they will keep loving Muslims. All of us running around, oh, we are Christians, we are the book of Ecclesiastes. No, they don't want to know who you are. They want to know Muslims because Muslims are killers. They can relate to them. These are the things you don't know. But we are here to tell you all the same. A zoo businessman based in Johannesburg, South Africa, was killed on Sunday by gunmen. The president of the Zoo Union in South Africa, Mr. Ikejiku Anyene. These are the idiots who should be joining IPOB there in the zoo, answering Nigeria. Useless people. On Monday, told newsmen in Pretoria, South Africa, that Onyeko Ozuru was shot by 2 gunmen. The union has received a report that a zoo businessman, Emmanuel Onyeko Ozuru, was shot in his business premises at 9 p.m. on June the 7th, only yesterday. The report said the gunmen had shot the deceased and escaped in a car. What are you doing there? Why do you think we are building Biafra? That we may be able to go home and build it. Who will shoot in your father's compound? Nobody, because nobody will be allowed to carry a gun in the first place anywhere. Governors of the APC has called an emergency meeting to seek ways of reuniting the ruling party that is threatened by a major crisis over the choice of new leaders for the Senate and the House of Reps. This is gossip, we don't report it. This is pure nonsense and speculative. This has to do with idiots fighting for political office, the same bunch of idiots that were voted into power before going back again. The terrorist-in-chief, Muhammadu Buhari, on Monday in El Mao at the G7 summit in Germany, reaffirmed his administration's total commitment to ending Boko Haram's insurgency in the shortest time possible. This is contained in a news release issued by the Special Senior Advisor, Media and Publicity to President Malam Garba Shehu. Everything is now Awasa. Malam Garba Shehu. During Jonathan's time, he was trying to appease Yoruba. During the time of Aziki, with the same nonsense. Now an Awasa man is there. They are surrounding themselves with their people. Even Yoruba that voted for him, he's not giving a damn. He's throwing everybody away. Only Awasa will do. Buhari understands the dynamics of the politics of the zoo more than all of you put together. He knows that if you go into power, if you want to win and survive, surround yourself with your people and you win. People will respect and fear you. But if you go about trying to please everybody, nobody will even love you. This is according to Garba Shehu. That is what he's supposed to say. We are totally committed. I remember somebody saying, we are going to defeat Taliban. We are committed to it. And at last, America set up an office in Qatar, inviting Taliban to come and discuss terms. You cannot defeat an ideology. Boko Haram is fueled by an ideology the same way that Ojukwu rose up many years ago and said that Biafra can never die. No force on earth can defeat Biafra. He was speaking about Biafra as an ideology. But this very generation, we have now made Biafra a religion, which makes it even worse. It's unkillable. Till the end of time, nobody can defeat it. Because Biafra is now effectively our religion. For those of us in IPOB, that is. The Inspector General of the Zoo Police, Arase, if you listened before, was saying that his people are not corrupt. Maybe you and I are not that very, moronic and idiotic gathering of people. We continue. Last but not least, another disgraced Igbo man in Awasa Fulani camp. It will be coming to them all the time. They won't know it. It has been observed that the recent plot filled with blackmail, outright falsehood, perpetrated by some Igbo leaders against the first executive governor of Abia State, Dr. Nayon. Ever since Dr. Ono was speculated to emerge secretary to the government of the Federation in Buhari's administration, these anti-Igbo elements have been on the prowl. It was reported in some online platform that a serving APC governor in the southeast, a serving PDP governor from Ebonyi State, a former, Igbo people now. They will go after. No, they won't go after Yoruba. They will go after their own. They are tearing Nayon to bits because, of course, they have mentioned him as secretary to the government. Everybody wants a piece of it. These are Igbo people for you in their finest form. That is why without IPOB, there will be no Biafra. Without IPOB, whatever is left of Igbo people will be gone. This is Radio Biafra that concludes our news this very evening with the time now standing very, very close, I should say, to, should I say 11, now 10 minutes, please, to 9 p.m. in the evening here in London. I will welcome back the barrister to give us his analysis, his understanding, his take, his opinion on our presentation this evening prior to the opening of our lines for your call. Barrister, are you still with me? If you are, please, you must indicate to me.
Thank you, Director.
Thank you very much, Barrister. You may proceed.
Yes, thank you once again for the news that you've conducted and delivered. As always, and I'm sure our people followed throughout the readings, and I'm sure they have formed their own opinion, and those who are used to this platform have already made their efforts and probably ready to call in and give your own verdict. But here at this point in time, let me say one or few things before any of you and or all of you can start ringing. Director, I've always believed in retrospective thinking because that's the way I think. A lot of people are forward looking and forward thinking. Me, I think retrospectively. I think back. Some people will say, why not explain exactly what you're saying? That my PA will tell me, Director will say things, even if it's a big word, so you break them in pieces. I should be doing the same, not leaving my words in ambiguous ways. So, all right, I will do that if that will please our people to understand the primary form of English, because of course it's not our language, but we'll do our best to making sure our people are aware of what we do here on Radio Biafra, because the essence of getting you involved is to understand that our people are with us. They are understanding what we are saying here so that the restoration of Biafra will become easier. Because once people understand what you're doing, they'll be able to follow you easily and brilliantly. Let me take the issue, Director, with the new director of the formation of the military. They're giving it an Hausa name because everything is Islam. That's the way they operate. But what upsets me most is Islam, you met resistance, but you will never stop. You carry on. You have your own country to man. You have your own religion to man. Why can't you separate yourself and manage your religion until you die? All you do is to impose what you believe in on others. And they're saying to you, sorry, we cannot join you. You say, no, if you don't join me, I'll kill you. And then in the process of killing somebody, they kill you. Have you succeeded? For me, it doesn't make any single sense. Everything Islamic. Yeah, you gone to G7, G8. They call it G7, they call it G8. They invited Buhari, the jihadist, the terrorist. But they were not flooring too close to Jonathan when he was there. Yeah, we understood his imbecilic nature. But the reason why they didn't floor around him the way they are doing to the jihadists is because they know that this Jonathan at least had PhD. They cannot easily cheat him. They cannot easily confuse him. He's lettered. The jihadist is Bapomi. Easily, very easy. They run him down and confuse him and ask him to sign something. Remember, director, when Lugard went to the north, they told him, look, we have signed something already with the French people. Lugard confused them to tear the paper and cancel and tell the French people, sorry, we didn't know what we were doing before when you get us to sign. And then Lugard confused them and convinced them to resign a new one. We still have the communique up to today. So they find it easy to dealing with northerners than to deal with anything from the east. That's why they were not very close to Jonathan. Anything the guy did, they criticized him. Anything he tried to formulate, they never supported him. Lo and behold, the terrorist is on. Irrespective of the fact they don't support terrorism, but at least they will support this one. According to BBC reporter on television, everybody wants to have a photo shot with him. They are not comfortable that he's a terrorist, but what do they want? You know, the British always want anything of their own interest. They don't care. As far as there is something put down on the table, that's what they're after. But Jonathan never had it easy with them. They criticized him until the day he left. And they're all happy, well and doing. They welcome the new terrorist, and whatever he does, it's hunky-dory. They're happy with it. But that is not what we want, because it's to our own detriment. It's not for the goodness of Biafrans. This is why we must extricate ourselves. We must separate. We must detach ourselves from this particular illegal creation. It's not benefiting us. Policeman, the answer of a man, I don't know his name, saying that the police is the least corrupted. It's like saying that a prostitute is a virgin. He can't believe that.
Is even not a fitting analogy. It's not even the very personification of corruption itself. The very institution that made sure that corruption came into existence in the first place. To mention the zoo police to anybody means you're mentioning corruption. If the zoo police is not used as a yardstick to measure corruption, then corruption shouldn't exist in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely. But the man was quick to tell you they are the least corrupt. I wonder where he's getting his information.
He's a madman. He's a madman.
Madness is a little word, you know. That guy. I don't know the water he's drinking. Some Anambra people will tell you, go and take your drugs and drink it. Maybe the ones they gave him is finished. So he needs a new one to get him going. That you say the police are the least corrupted. When they are the corruption, their name is corruption.
It means corruption
on its own. The jihadist Buhari has moved the command post to Meduguri. Director, what you have to understand is this, as I will always tell you, I think retrospectively, Jehoshua says that Satan cannot divide against itself. If it does that, the kingdom will fall. Buhari was angry because Hejirika was dealing with the Hausa Fulani Boko Haram. He ordered the imbecilic human being in the name of Jonathan to remove Hejirika, and he was removed, thinking that he will be there forever until he himself is removed. Buhari said to you, an attack on Boko Haram is an attack on the Hausa Fulani. Now, this guy said all these things, and now he's in power. As you rightly pointed out yesterday, when Jonathan was there, the bombings were not prevalent. But since this guy entered, it's like every day. They are bombing. Sai Buhari, they are working for him under his command. And now you are saying the command post has been moved to Meduguri. And you think that Buhari is going to fight his people. No. The reason why he moved the command post is also to weaken the position of the Zoo military. Now, there was a statement you made yesterday which is very, very important and poignant. He will get the Boko Haram people together to say, look, Biafrans are coming. The reason why I brought you here is to organize yourselves so that we can fight them and spread Islam. Director, what you said yesterday is a very serious statement, and it has to be underlined. Buhari is not there to fight Boko Haram. No, he is there to support, to make them flourish. Boko Haram will be his army. And that's why he's joined a G7 or G8. They welcome him with open arms because he has whispered to them, for your oil to flow. Remember Jigawa oil. Biafrans are coming to take their oil. You guys have to support me with your military and stuff. That's why we keep telling Biafrans here, all of you should remain resolute. You are fighting for a good cause. What belongs to you? They are taking all you have away from you, marginalizing you. If in the quest of taking away what belongs to you and you are being treated well, there is no need agitating for your own Biafra, what you have. Because they are taking all that you have, they are killing you on top of it, raping, killing everybody, beheading your little children. And that's why Biafra must be restored. Because we are fed up of all these killings and all the marginalizations. And none of you, the young men, they have no jobs. They're just wallowing around. Everybody wants to go abroad. You pay $25,000 in order to go to the Sea of Libya and get drowned. Those of you walking around the whole Sahara Desert to just reach Sokoto, some of you die in order to come to Britain. On arrival, you'll be locked up in prison. Some of you will stay there for 3-4 years. Now, what's the essence of coming abroad? You're coming looking for a greener pasture, which does not exist. So, we are trying to restore Biafra so that all this unnecessary waste of lives will stop. But most of you do not even know the reasons why we are trying to restore Biafra. And we keep telling you the reasons why. Our people will soon get into extinction. First of all, Hausa, Fulani, Boko Haram, and the Yorubas will not even like you to speak your language. Go to the curriculum. You speak Hausa, you will speak Yoruba. The Igbo speaking corner from the Biafran corner doesn't exist. Calabar itself doesn't even exist because all of us are under Biafra and we are marginalized. And those from Ijo, I don't think they speak Ijo language in any curriculum in the zoo. So the cause we're here fighting for is for everybody, for Biafrans. The Hausas, their own central main reason for Islamizing you is to control everything, because the Amajiris cannot challenge anybody who is on top, because everything they say it becomes Rankadere. That is why the Western world wants to subdue and subjugate us under one particular control leadership. Whatever they say, that's the way it stands. But Biafrans, we are very dynamic in nature. We believe in republicanism, whereby one person says something, another will challenge. You have to give me a reason for me to follow what you're saying. We don't believe in democracy. Democracy is rubbish. Democracy, what is it? Democracy is few individuals deciding for you, and they tell you it's government of the people, but the people are not. Those things are just rubbish. It does not exist. It doesn't stand. Biafrans believe if a king tells you all of you should fetch water, bring it to my house this evening, you will stand up and say to the king or a chief, why? You will see a Biafran man who, even women, will stand up. Why? Then you have to explain. That is republicanism. We are Republicans. We just don't take yes or no for an answer. You have to explain. And that's our nature. That is the way we are created. But now, the Western world, the reason why they piggy all of us together, Yoruba and Hausa believe in one doctrine because they are Islam. One person at the top, the rest will Rankadere and Dobale. Everybody will lie down on the floor. We don't lie down on the floor for anybody. It's only Chukwuabiama that when you feel that the spirit is upon you, you lie down and worship Chukwuabiama. Apart from that, we don't do otherwise. But Yoruba Hausa, they believe in such principles. That's their own. We are not of the same people. Our value systems are different. But most of you don't even understand why we are fighting here. You ask your brother, look, this is what we are doing. Say, no, I'm Islam. Why? Because they have bribed him. They've given him money. You know, money reigns these days, but a true Biafran can never betray his conscience. Only those who are poor from beginning, they want to try to alleviate their family background to make them shine a bit. Remember chicken, because of money, you betray the family where you came from. You betray your conscience. But a true Biafran would not do so. Look at Jonathan was there, foolish, idiotic. He surrounded himself with Yoruba. And when the time came, Yorubas did not vote for him. Now look at the jihadist who's gone there, surrounding himself with all the Islamic people around him. But director will see it as being intelligent. No, I see it as being idealistic. It has nothing to do with intelligence, because anybody who is clever, you surround yourself. Izukaman and Neji doesn't require intelligence. You have to be somebody who is well brought up to know that if you're in authority, you bring your own people around you, those who will not betray you. When you go and bring Tom, Dick, and Harry from different places, they have interest. They will betray you. Jonathan did not know that. And that's why up to today, his people are suffering. And we are telling them, Ijo people, come back to your senses. This man will say, the prophet who sang a song, let us go back to our culture. He knows what he's talking about. Izukaman and Neji, you can only discuss something very private and secretive with somebody who's very close to you. The same blood. The Islam, what brings them together is Quran. And that is why they steal, they loot. Because in their Quranic book, if you are in authority and you did not make use of that authority, their Allah will punish you when you go over there. That's why whatever position they are, they will steal. But I wish they are stealing from their own when we are no longer with them. But the money they are stealing belongs to Biafrans. The money is supposed to bring good water, electricity, and road, and giving our people quality education. Making all the girls that they create laws to rape and to abduct, giving them good lives, righteousness for them to live and grow up in a good environment. But they do it because they like stealing. That is why the Western world find it easy to get them, organize them, and say, all right, deal with this particular society. And they'll tell you they are not corrupt. Yes, ISIS always go to a place where there is corruption. What is worse than killing people? Corruption. It's still the Hausa Fulani Boko Haram that are the ones stealing. But tomorrow the Yorubas, the foolish Yorubas will tell you, if Igbo man is dying, show him money, he wake up. Can you see how you destroy somebody who is innocent? And some of our foolish people will accept it. Igbo man did not do anything. Who are the people stealing? Hausa, Fulani, Boko Haram, and Yorubas. There are people stealing. It's obvious. They bank the money abroad. Here in Britain, the United States, in the emir societies, they put their money there. But they tell you in their patronage, in their jokes, yeah, Igbo man they likes money. And some of you will let them walk away with that rubbish. Igbo man has always maintained his or her integrity, apart from those who are fathered by Hausa Fulani Boko Haram. Wasn't it Odimegbu who revealed the fact that the British concocted census and said the houses are bigger than us in number, when it is not true? Even the money. No, I will always maintain, defend the integrity of an Igbo-speaking Biafran, because we are more righteous than those who were imposed upon you. Out of poverty, somebody can do something they're supposed not to do, because hunger is a very deadly weapon. And that's what the British told the Yorubas and Hausa to use against us during the Nigerian Biafran War. When you are hungry, you can even deny your parents. That was why this guy, Jacob, sold his birthright. Is it Jacob or Esau? Trying to mix the two of them together. Director, are you there?
Barrister, can't you hear me? Barrister, can you hear me? Barrister, can you hear me? Barrister cannot hear me. Barrister, can you hear me? Barrister, can you hear me, please? I need you to confirm that you can hear me.
Director, I called you. I thought you gone.
How can I be gone? I'm here listening. Rapture. You know, I seldom interrupt, because when I interrupt you, you say I have damaged your flow. I try to pay attention without.
No, Director, I ask a question. In its reply. That's when I know you're attentive. Director, come on, don't cover my eyes.
I am very, very attentive, because what I try to do is sometimes when you're speaking, I try to depress as many of our live buttons as possible, so that when somebody is calling, it doesn't interfere. So that was exactly what happened. If you're prepared to repeat your question, of course, I'm prepared to answer it, because you've said so much.
As always. Who sold his birthright because of porridge?
Is it Esau?
Esau sold it to Jacob, isn't it?
Of course, to Jacob.
Because the guy was hungry. So
do you think
that
was it because of anger, or was it because that was how Chukwu Gigabiama wanted it?
Director, hunger was the first priority. And for Chukwu Abiyama to complete his program, he has to use something that will not fail.
That is true.
Hunger.
That is true.
Remember Bob Marley. He says the Western world will starve you. When you're going to get some food, your own brother will become your enemy. Food is very essential, Director. And that was why it was used against Biafrans. Irrespective of the fact that we didn't have the weapons, but we were still soldiering on. Then they brought starvation that weakened our men. At all. You cannot fight if there is nothing in your stomach. So, Director, the fact is this. Our people, we have to, Director, see, this is why I don't like being breaking up, because I've been cut off from my line of argument. And in a sense that I don't even know what I'm pursuing anymore. Because the flow, when I'm on, I'm really on. But when I'm dropped, it's like being on gear 5. And when you meet the traffic, you return back to gear 2.
I know. I know. Of course I do.
Director, probably, maybe I could come back, but let me say this before I go. The reason why Buhari is asking his people to change the post and bring back to Maiduguri, he's not fighting Boko Haram. Not at all. He's not interested in killing Boko Haram. He's interested in reorganizing them. That is why, find out the reason for the changing of the name of the command and control post, which they moved instead of the usual name. Jonathan gave it, or Hejirika, they gave it an Hausa name, so that of course some of us will be confused. But we do have our people that speak Hausa that will explain to you the reason of that particular language used instead of English language, where all of us will understand, at least explain. But they've gone Islamic so that we don't understand what they mean. The fact is that the zoo is corrupt, is fraudulent, is an illegal entity that has to be melted off. And Biafran has to move ahead and recapture what belongs to us. Mere talking, mere praying will not do anything, except and only if we come together and say, it's time for us to go home. The Western world will do their best. They have their interests. Don't forget, but Umuchineke will prevail. And that's why I anchor my ship. Good evening.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Barrister. Thank you very, very much. We are live and we are direct. At the same time, heaven is, of course, watching over our proceedings here on this very earth. And I can assure you that our lines are open. If you call us, you will be able to get us. Our Skype is also open. Radio Biafra, all one word. Our Skype is open. Our sister will disengage Victoria that we may take over from here. Our Skype is simply Radio Biafra. If you call us, we will, of course, undoubtedly take your call. Wherever you are and regardless of what you are doing, you are now at personal. If you're alone, and collective, that is if there is more than you listening at the same time and wishing to call. You have the liberty to call us and we will be able to take your call. The barrister came to me. Now I must also go to you, to those of you who have decided to join us this very evening. I have a caller on the line, on the phone line. Can you hear me? This is Radio Biafra. Please turn your system down and then give us your name and where you are calling us from, please.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you.
Because Director Delegiwa.
Sorry?
Hello, sir. Because Delegiwa, tell me from Delegiwa.
Yes, please go ahead. Yes, I understand. Please go ahead. Yes.
Because ima kita barista kucha nyata the news analysis. Atom kijiro ibo ikwe very well because ihe na atom ibuga n'ugwu Awụsa kita na Meduguri. Ihe a ka onye ike igbu ihe jirika na onye the other guy because I launched an attack in their house in order to kill them so that they would run out of things.
No, but ihe jirika is no longer the chief of army staff. He's no longer there.
No. Minima. Kenneth.
No, but let them kill him. He's serving the zoo. If they want to kill, they can kill him. Why are you bothered? They will kill Kenneth Minima. Why are you worried? Let them kill him off now. He's serving the zoo army. He deserves to die. So, anybody serving them, they can kill the person. That is their business.
So Director, because I have more Biafrans worldwide.
Yes, there is. I prayed before we started. I always go through the scriptures to pray before we start with this very program every blessed day. I try as much as I can to pray. And that very prayer is pivotal. It is very, very important. And I believe that what Chukwokike Abiyama wants us to do is, of course, to be very diligent and resolute. Not just to pray, but to follow it up with action. Action means weapons, bullets, and then we go to war. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? No, they cannot hear me. Let's go again. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? Your name and where you are, please. This is Radio Biafra.
Hello, good evening, sir. Director.
Good evening to you. Please, what is your name and exactly where are you calling us from?
My name is Jackson Ifeanyi. I'm calling from Aba, Biafra land.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
I want to thank you for your good work that you are doing for us in Aba. Biafra here.
Thank you.
We are very excited. We are very excited. I will pray that Chukwu Abiyama continue to bless you and guide and protect you.
He said, and bless you too.
And no evil shall befall you.
He said.
That's my contribution tonight.
Thank you very much, Ofondo. Thank you very, very much. People are praying for us the same way we pray for all of you and pray for the collapse of the Zoological Republic. The caller on the phone, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, please. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Chinyere Ihanacho. I'm calling from Aba.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead. We are listening. The whole world is listening. Please go ahead.
May Adonai bless you in Hashem's name, I pray.
Ise, I love that. Ise.
I believe that Adonai will guide you and protect you.
Ise.
Because I'm hearing your whatever. I am hearing what you are doing for us for a long time ago. So I believe that Adonai will guide you.
Ise.
My brother, I'm just telling you about the dream I dream. And my name is Prophetess Chinyere Ihanacho. I'm just telling you the thing that I'm dreaming. I have a dream. Say like this. I saw this Boko Haram coming with war, heavy war. As they are coming there, as Boko Haram is coming, when I saw them coming, if you believe in Muslims, fast. If you don't believe in Muslims, they will cut you. Some say they believe in Jesus, they will cut the people off. As they asked me, I told them that I believe in only Adonai. They tell me, who is Adonai? I tell them that Adonai is the supremacy God. They tell me to fast. The people that follow with me, they tell them to fast. We just walk away. So I glorify the mighty one of Israel. So all these things that you are telling us, I know that is true. And all these things will come to pass. The people don't want to hear. They still believe in that Pentecost. They cannot believe in 10 commandments that Adonai is giving to them. They refused the Creator and they rejected the Creator. So they will receive the punishment when the hour comes. Because I believe that Adonai doesn't fail his people. So continue preaching. You are not doing it by yourself. When I tell my little boy about this thing, he told me because his name is David. He told me that mommy, he will take that catapult and pick those people again. I tell him that Adonai will make it again. So I believe that Adonai is with you because I have already asked of you. Already, I don't know me. And I haven't attended any meeting because I have an injury in my leg because of refusing to worship Adonai. So I believe that Almighty One will hear me too. So continue. Don't fail. Don't fail Adonai.
Never.
Because
Never, ever, ever. She has run out. And I appreciate it wholeheartedly. Your prayer was immense. And I accept it. In total, I accept your prayer, of course. He asked me to come. Why would he fail? Chukwu Abiyama, anonam komem, asembia gozi. Chukwu Abiyama is not like man that will give you salt to sell at the same time, ask the rain to come and beat you. It's not possible. He is creation. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? This is Radio Biafra.
No, I can hear you, very director.
Thank you very much. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Onweboku from Igbo State, Biafra land.
Thank you. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you, my director. I'm happy. I've been trying a life for quite a long time. But I'm happy today I can get you. I say, may the Chukwu Okike Abiyama guide and protect you for all you've been doing for us.
You say?
And I want to tell you, for the lecture that you have been giving to us for this past few months, if it is what you've been doing, if it is what is you that is on it, when was written was on it, all these things have been and past. But as God has made it for you this time, I know that the Lord who created the heaven and earth, who made the people of Israel, to cross the Red Sea, we see we Biafra out from this bondage.
You see?
The only thing I want to tell you, please, it's true that you are talking about weapon or this. To raise money or this is not an easy, but it will be easy. The Lord will make it for us.
You see? Of course.
And my permission is this: you people should know how to try to make that our newspaper to be out. So some big men and some other people will see all what is happening in the zoo. And because the news that you people are giving to us, believe me honestly, if you listen to NPA or AIT or Silverbird, you cannot get this kind of news. But with Radio Biafra, people are start knowing what is happening. And I would like you again to work it hard, how you will make it to be in a local language for all the whole Biafran lands like Idoma, all these our people. Some of our parents cannot understand English, but they are listening to this radio Biafra. But if you can go in a local dimension language to put a new headline in the local language, at least every Friday or every Saturday, for them to hear the headline of the news, that what is happening in zone country, if they are where they belong. At least some of the old men will start know how to encourage their children. I say, may the Almighty God guide and protect you and the barrister and Emma Mezu. That is my prayer to you people. So don't listen to what people are saying and what people will talk, because mostly some of our people who have rich, who have sit in the golden spoon, who even don't care for the poor masses, are not even care for all these things. So, but I believe the Lord who created the heaven and earth must surely make them one day to know what they are fighting for. Because some of them are start seeing it now, and some of them who is in the politics are starting what the Zoom terrorist president are doing. So now all of them will be shocked. Somebody like my brother Okorocha and Hope Uzodimma and Mecca Ihedioha, and many of them in Imo State or even in Port Harcourt, somebody like Rotimi Amechi them. They will start seeing what is happening. But the only thing I want you to do again, trying to organize a meeting with IBOB chairmans, both in Biafra land, and let you know whether if you will have a meeting with all these Tompolo and Afare and what is it called, or take them. Because there's one guy who called in one island, one certain country from Africa. And he said that he will reach you. So when you communicate with these people and let us know, it's true that whether they follow or they no follow Biafra, Biafra must exist. Biafra exists and Biafra must come and stay. So the only thing I'm praying God for you, for all your handwork, the day you came to Aba, it was a marvelous thing. And you can see how God did it. It was Zeke went to where and it was arrested. But everything upon the whole gathering, upon the whole population that came to Aba, nothing happened. That is why you know that Chukwu Abiyama is with us. So, my director, may the Almighty God bless you and bless your family and keep you moving in Jesus' name.
Ise. Thank you very much for that. I have a caller on the phone. I have one on Viber. The one on Viber, stay where you are. I'll come to you after this. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? It's a UK number. Give us your name and where you are calling us from. Precisely where you are, that is.
Hello?
Yes, please.
Good evening, Director.
Good evening to you.
My name is Mr. Hilary Oji. Basically, I will use a different number to call you today.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
Good evening, great Biafrans all over the world, wherever you are. My name is Mr. Hilary Oji, and I'm calling from London. I'm from Umudi, a village in Olu, LGA of Imo State, Biafran land. Director, please, I want to make a little bit joke. Don't get offended, and I know your missus will not get offended as well. Director, will you marry me?
No, I cannot. I'm married, and you're a man.
I am a man, but I'm in Europe, and you know everything is possible.
God forbid. Thank you very much, my brother. I am humbled. I know what.
On a nutshell, I will do a sex swap for you to marry me. Just consider me.
Please. Everything here is possible. We know. They don't know that men are going to hospital coming out as women. Women are going in as women are coming out as men. Things are happening here.
Unbelievable.
I'm telling you. Go ahead.
Director, today I sent you several messages. To be honest with you, I was off today from work just to see you.
Were you?
Yes, I am off from work just to see you, in fact. You know, you don't know who you are. You don't know who you are. I can say this categorically. You don't know who you are. You are the chosen one. And I want to encourage every Biafran wherever you are in the world. This man you are hearing, educating us, giving us hope of freedom, of telling us who we are exactly, to be precise, is this man is a prophet. I don't know how to put it in words. This man is a prophet. I'm telling all Biafrans who are still in doubt of who this man is. This is a chosen man. When you hear his voice, the first day I hear his voice, the word of God come to me and say, this is the man. And since then, there's nothing in this world that will make me to go contrary to what he's preaching. This is the man we should listen to. Please, all secret listeners and those hiding under their wives' wrappers, Director will say, this is the time for you to come out. Look at what is happening in Nigeria now. Is every day you hear a tanker driver, explosion everywhere and there. This is Boko Haram. It's Boko Haram. They are already in Biafra land. And what can we do? Assuming every Biafra in the world came out now to support this messenger of hope, messenger of freedom, to restore, to bring to fruition a Biafra land. I mean, it will not cost us much. But the problem we're having is most of us are just still in doubt. But how long can you be in doubt to know that this man is sent by heaven? How long can you be in doubt to know that this man is a messenger of God? I mean, it's unfortunate that our people are still in darkness, or I don't know what is wrong with them. But I can assure you, whenever I listen to this man, I mean, this man you are seeing does not even know who he is. This man is a prophet. This is Joshua of our time. I am calling this evening because, most of the time I took my pen, I write down every word this man is speaking to we Biafrans. I write every word. Very soon I will be putting it on Biafran, Radio Biafran page. Every word he's saying, I write it down. But the problem is we Biafrans and we Igbo people, we are too stubborn to the core. And you know what? That stubbornness is a good thing for us because we know who we are. We cannot be taken for granted. What am I trying to say this evening? Please, my fellow Biafrans, this man needs our support. This prophet of our own generation needs our support. And if we will not support him, he's been crying. This is like a voice crying in the wilderness. Crying and saying, where are my people? Where are you? This is the time for you to come out and say, we are here. We can support you. We are with you. I mean, if you watch the video of what happened in Aba and you are still in doubt who this man is, if you are a Biafran and you are still following LIKE, if you are a Biafran and you are still following one Nigeria, there is nothing in one Nigeria for you. Nigeria is not one and can never be one. This man you are listening to that is educating us day in, day out. I mean, if you cannot come out now to support this man, hey, my brothers and sisters, my brethren, Ijo people, Urobo, Ishekiri, Efik, wherever you are right now, if you cannot come back to your senses and realize that this man is a messenger of freedom, a messenger of God, a messenger of liberation, I mean, you are still, you are dead, in fact. So, Director, what I'm trying to say is this. We Biafrans, we genuine Biafrans, appreciate you. There is a quote you made today in on live before you started actually. You said, in quotes, we Biafrans, we are special people. We have knowledge in abundance. And that makes us unique. This is why people despise us. This is why Europeans, Western world, America, UK, the damnable people in contraction called Nigeria, that's why they despise us. Yoruba and Afusa Fulani, Boko Haram murderers. Director, I want to say thank you for your education. Thank you for bringing our people together. Thank you for making us to know who we are. Thank you once again for making us to know that we are children of God. Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you for that. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are also direct. There was somebody on Viber. I promised them before that I shall come to them. If they are patient enough to wait for us, I have now gone to them. Let me see if they're there waiting for us. The caller on Viber, can you hear me? Give us your name and where you are, please, as confirmation that indeed you can hear me.
Good morning, Director.
And good evening from here.
This is Ucheneke Mezie. I'm calling from Malaysia.
From Malaysia, thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Okay. I will try to make it very short and simple. First of all, Director, I have to thank you for what you are doing for us, Biafrans here and all over the world. We say, may Chukwubiama bless you.
Yes, sir.
So, Director, what I want to say is this. I don't know how it's going to sound to my brothers over here. There is, I would put it in such a way that it's an advice. Like mostly we living here in Asia. That's what happened today. Do you understand me? I was just coming back and I met one of our brother. I don't know if a full member of IPOB, but he put in our uniform, one of our shirt, or this shirt we used to celebrate. So with the police people, I don't know what happened exactly. So they hold this, and there were another two Yoruba guys there. So I stopped to find out what exactly happened. So it happened that this boy do not have his papers. So what I'm trying to say, I don't know how they will understand it. Like for my brothers, we living here in Asia, and we know their laws and what people used to do to us, because this guy was humiliated this evening. The way they were even torturing him just because of papers. So I was just trying, I don't know how I'm going to put it, that if there's any way you can help me, it help to tell our people here, at least this number one, their papers, is very, very important. I'm advising my brothers who are here, we should try as much as possible. Let it not be that if they are late to be in a Biafran or an IPOP member, we don't have the papers. Let it not be that's the reason why we are doing what we are doing. because those Yoruba guys that stood there, I heard one of the words they said they don't know understand their language. So that one said, "Hey, they're doing this because of they use Biafra to cover up because papers." So I was even mad with these people, but I really thank God. At the end of the day, I talked with these people. They just collected a little money and they released the guy. So what I'm saying is this: for my brothers living here in Asia, we know how it is. Let's try our possible best, at least to get that their sticker, their papers. That is number one. And another thing I want to say, Director, you always talk about we Igbos. Like this meeting we are going, another thing is this. Like if we go to the meeting, like if there's any contribution we are making, at least before, I think they used to issue something like the seat or something, right? And I see now when they buy and they believe at least if we make any contribution, if something like the seat is there, I think can be. So this is what I want to say. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. And also, well spoken. Well spoken. You have heard it. I have made it compulsory from this month. I want the names of everybody who contributes a dime to us, no matter where they are. And also, the Directorate of State should also advise each and every national coordinator. If I call any country or if anybody calls me to say I made XYZ contribution and I have no receipt, that very person in charge will be dismissed and can never ever again in his or her life be part of what we are doing. I have said this thing before and I will keep repeating it. The reason why we are phenomenally successful the way we are is because our hands are clean. We don't know corruption and corruption don't know who we are. Chukwu Okike Abiyama is testing us. I don't want anybody at all who is tainted. I don't want anybody born of our blood. In other words, corruption and decay is inside you. You want to bring that to the building of a project that is there to glorify the name of the Most High God, Chukwu Okike Abiyama. You will not succeed. You'll be found out and you will be summarily dismissed. Without any accolade at all. I don't give a damn who you are. You must understand that very, very clearly. The work we are here to do is for heaven, not of this very earth. Chukwu Abiyama asked us to come. I go and find something to do. You must find something to do. You don't come to feed on the money meant for the glorification of heaven. Until Biafra comes, we don't know any enjoyment and none will come our way. We are fighting for Biafra and Biafra will come. That time, if you want us to build your house with gold, we will. Every principal officer, we are fighting for Biafra. I am not a Wazurike trying to live life within the zoo. That is nonsense. We have come to build the kingdom of heaven upon the face of the earth. And nothing is going to stop that from happening. Not even the stupidity of some people. You must understand very, very, very clearly. Do you know we have never lost any battle we have been into before? We always win. Do you know why we win? Because our hands are clean. The caller on Viber, can you hear me? There was a caller on Viber. Perhaps they are no longer there. I will have to go to the phone to see who is there and see if I can take their calls. Of course not. Let me try once again. The caller on Viber, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, please. Your name and where you are.
My name is Onoha Chinedu. I'm calling from Abawat. I'm from Imo State, BC.
That is better. Thank you. Go ahead.
Director, I thank you for the help that you are giving to us, we Biafrans. And I'm recommending you on the good work you are doing to us and the thing you are doing to us. I'm very, very happy about it. Like last time you were on Aba for the names of our fallen heroes and heroines. I saw you and you are the man, and you are the one that if you say something that you want to do, you go ahead and do it. We appreciate you. We acknowledge your hard work, sir. Come to this now. I heard something about military, as in the headquarter of military from Abuja to Maiduguri. Buhari is not going to do anything to fight his brothers. He's sending them there to locate, as in to modify those Boko Haram people, to join them. From there, they will circulate to all the Biafran land. They will use those military people. They will join with military people to circulate around all the Nigerian territory, including Biafran territories, in a way that if they bring in ammunition and bomb, nobody will question them, and it will be very easy for them to do so. So just giving the advice for our people, please, people should do something. We in Biafra, we know what we are passing through here. Everything my director is saying is right. He's making 100%, more than 100% right in everything he's saying. So please, we are suffering here. We are suffering here too much. We are suffering. I'm a student. We are suffering here. Please.
Thank you. And we are going to rectify it. The suffering is too much, no doubt about it, and we are going to rectify it without a shadow of a doubt. Why do you think we are seeking Biafra? Is to make life easier for our people. I have a caller on the phone. I will go to him. This caller, can you hear me? Your name and where you are, please.
Hello.
I can't believe that somebody calling us from the UK is not familiar with the protocol here. If you call Radio Biafra, I don't want any background noise of any sort. No noise whatsoever. No noise. I don't want any singular noise. It has to be pristine quietness, I should say. If there's anything like that, there is. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? Good evening to you. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah. I'm Jamot Ribe, come from Oma Road.
Mama is in Abba, is that correct?
Yeah, in Abba, Biafra land.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead. Abba is still dominating even in the UK. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Director, I thank you very much for what happened outside the Artificate Abba. What is going to do is that now we are ready to fight the zoo army. That don't ever allow them to overtake you. We are with you, Director.
I know. I know very well. They can never overtake us. Why should they? Chukwu Abiyama is with us. How can man overtake?
We will not attack before them. We know what they are planning. I'm telling you that I've been in the modern region. I'm supporting you, and I'm ready to fight them, no matter what is happening. That I know that Chukwu Abiyama will be with us.
He say, of course, he will be with us, and we will win. That is one thing that is assured. In the end, we always win. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? I have a caller on the phone calling from the UK. Can you hear me?
Good evening, Director.
Good evening to you. What is your name and precisely where in the UK are you?
My name is Kanayo Chukwu Iheanacho, and I'm calling from Bradford in England.
Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
I hail from Akabo in Ikeduru, Biafra land.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Please go ahead. Go ahead.
By His grace, I am the treasurer for Leeds Bradford branch.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. You are one of us. Go ahead.
Today is my first time to call in, but I've been listening to you for many months now. And I am so grateful for you. We appreciate your work. It hasn't been easy.
Thank you.
I'll use this opportunity to thank Biafrans all over the world and encourage them to do more to support this effort. At the same time, I will like to say very great thank you to Barrister Imam Mezu, Ujeme4, and all those involved in the struggle. I wouldn't say much. I will give chance for others to speak. But what I'm saying is that carry on. You are doing the right thing. May God bless you.
And you too. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. I don't know if I have a caller. I think Mrs. Wanebo is on the line on Skype. Stay where you are. I will come to you. I have a caller on WhatsApp. Can you hear me? The caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? Not at all. They cannot hear me. Calling us from a very weak line. That is the problem that we have. I am going over right now to Skype, and I believe to Mrs. Wanebo. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me too?
Yes, I can hear you very well. Please go ahead.
Hello?
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Okay, I just want to make sure that my other equipment is not interfering on the ground.
Go ahead, please.
I just want to say, the director, thank you so much for what you are doing. I praise Chukwuabiama for you. Just like Obi Diobin always says that people like you come once in a lifetime. I think you are just a gift given to us by Chukwuabiama.
You are kind.
Udo de Reggae. I want to use this opportunity to thank every Biafran, both home and abroad, especially during the 30th of May. I've been trying to call, although it's almost getting past, but I still have to say it because this is the time that I'm able to get connected. What you guys did on 30th May is phenomenal. In fact, when only watching any of the clips, I draw overwhelmed. We can only say,
he said,
I have to say this because I'm that when it comes to Biafra, on Okunobi, and director, I have always been hearing you always talking about you need weapon, you need weapon. It breaks my heart that you do all this for us and we're not doing our part enough. I don't know what to tell my people, but I just want to plead once again. I know it's not easy to raise money, especially for those of us that live in this part of the world. We are all struggling. But I am pleading once again. If we can do a kind of, director, I don't know exactly how much money you need, to make up for these weapons that you're asking us all the time. If we have to do another donation like we did last time, I know that there was a time we called on and people, you said, we need like 1,000 people from Europe, 1,000 from America, 1,000 from Africa. If we can do something like that again, so we can raise as much money that we can, because I just don't know how that you have brought your time, you are giving us everything. It's just money, to contribute money that we can't even do it. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to talk about it. And once again, I am pleading, although that you can emphasize on that again, for us to, people, 1,000 again from North America, 1,000 from Europe, 1,000 from Africa, so we can contribute. Obugodu $100. It's a lot of money, and at the same time, it's not a lot when it comes to freedom. I don't know what you all think, but for me, for my freedom, if I have to donate the last dime that I have, I will. I keep telling myself if I have to eat tomatoes and bread every day, as long as I am making sure that I'm putting in what I'm supposed to, I am ready. Because at this moment again, I will start again because I'm not nice, director, I'm behind you, I'm on top of you, I'm under you, I'm on the bottom of you. I want to start again by saying, if there will be 1,000 people from North America, 1,000 people from Europe, 1,000 people from Africa that will come up with me now and say, I want to give in my $100, please come up. I am starting it again. I want to volunteer my $100 donation right now. And as soon as I drop the phone, I am going to call. I don't know who you want us to call, if it's the COC like we did last time, or my zonal coordinator, MAZI NNAMDI, whoever that you want us to, that we will call and make this donation. It's a simple donation. This time it is to, fast forward this ideal of realizing, more than enough money that you will need now that you are over here in this part of the world, going to meet other nations. We believe that you want to start negotiation with them to see if there's any way they can help us. And I understand that it needs money, requires money. Please, ụmụnne onye ọbụla, rise up. It is not too much. No matter what it is, no amount is too much for your freedom. I understand that a lot of us are not so much interested in the Igbo now, or for the Jen with Biafra will come and join. That's okay. But for those of us that have been committed to this project, we will continue to sponsor it until we see to the end of it. And I am ready for it, because I am tired of living here. I want to go. I am tired. Whatever it takes, I know I cannot be on the ground as a soldier to fight, but at least I can give my money. And giving that a little change is not going to kill me. I mean, we all live here, we understand, we make sacrifices, we pay our bills here, and we pay more bills than even $100. Even the monthly dues that is, a requirement for everybody. People are not even contributing, and they want freedom. It doesn't make sense to me. But we will keep on pleading, hoping that our people will heed this call. And again, I want to use this time again to say hello to my family, because I've been telling them about Radio Biafra. They seem not to be interested back home. But thank Chukwuabiama, one of my nephews, is beginning to get interested. Actually, I sent him to Aba. He came to Aba, and he was telling me a lot of things, and I'm grateful for that. And I know he's listening right now. Hello, nephew. And I know you're listening to my voice right now. And I want to encourage you, keep on going and telling my other siblings back home, because I've already told them, you guys are not paying attention. There's war coming. And when it comes, you're going to pick up phone and call my sister in the United States. Oh, we are dying here. And that's when I'm going to hang phone on them, because now I'm telling them, they seem not to listen. They're busy, mercantile, buying and selling, the usual thing. Well, they will call me, and I have the right to hang phone on them. But I don't want to get to that point. I just want you guys to listen. So, the director, that's all I wanted to say. And I want to also thank my zonal coordinator for what he's doing for us here in Atlanta. I also want to appreciate you, the COC. You're a great man. Uche Mefo, Barisa Imam Mezu, Omio, our COC, a wonderful Biafran, Amara, what's his name? The man with the golden beard. I mean, it's Maramu Gochukwu. I mean, I met all of them in DC, and it was a great opportunity, a great time, and I was so grateful. I was able to be there with my son, and he had the opportunity to meet his people, and we came home. I mean, it was a great memory to him, and he kept saying, "Mom, I'm so happy that I had to hang out with my people for the first time." And that was amazing. So, ụmụnne m na ụmụnna m, biko, I want to plead with you once again. I don't want to take much of your time. Please rise. Everybody rise. It's going to cost us. Freedom will cost you everything. But at the end, the bottom line is at the end, we will get this freedom that we're fighting for. Please, the director, if you will emphasize on this,
I'll do so.
all on people, let us make this 1,000 agenda once again and see if we can come up with something with that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mrs. Wanebo, all the way from Atlanta, Georgia, USA. We are going to WhatsApp to see who is there, and of course to also take their call. The caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me?
Of course I can, Director.
Thank you very
Director,
much.
My name is Chukuma Ekwago. I hail from Umezala in Idato South, and I reside here in Northern California.
Northern California, from Atlanta, Georgia to Northern California. Where exactly are you? Are you in the Bay Area, San Francisco area?
I'm in the Bay Area precisely.
Bay Area of California, which is San Francisco, if I'm not mistaken.
You're correct.
Thank you very much. I was there a few years ago. Thank you very much. The world is listening. Please, you may proceed, if you wish, of course.
Yes, Director. There is an Igbo adage. I want to start with this Igbo adage that says,
that is correct.
Our people, the Biafran people listening, it is very important to understand the war we are standing against, because it's not just the zoo army we are going to fight. We are standing against all those people that are supporting the zoo army, including the Americans and the United Kingdom. So it's very important that we all understand that we are standing against all these people, and because we are fighting a just cause, they are going to crumble. Look at what is happening. Look at what is happening in Israel. Israel, as small as they are, surrounded by all the enemies, none of them can stand Israel. Israel is even bigger militarily than America. That is because Chukwu Abiyama is on their side. And the same thing is going to happen in Biafra. We are God's people, and God is on our side. So it's very important that we all stand up and rise up to the occasion. Because the director has been sounding this and sounding it, and it seems to be falling on deaf ears. So please, my brothers and sisters, anywhere you are, it's very important that we liberate ourselves from the shackles of whatever is going on in that country and build our own nation. The one that will respect heavy human rights and the one that is capable of, like the director would say, make a formidable nation. We all that live in diaspora, we know that the way Nigeria is going is not the way it should go. That is not the way a society should go. A society that has no respect for human life, a society that has no regard for the poor, a society that values those criminals, people who steal money. They come home and they are the ones that people respect. They are the ones that make decisions and policies. So what kind of policy do you think a criminal will make? He will make the same policy that will enable him to steal, and when he steals, he will go scot-free. So my people, it's time for us to join hands together and make sure we actualize Biafra. And this is going to come without a war. So it's better we all prepare for war. But one thing I'm assuring us is that the war will not be for too long, because it's a just fight, it's a just cause, and we will not take time before we defeat our enemies. That's my contribution, my director. I applaud your good work. And I also want to remind our people, back then in UK, you go to any Pakistani or any Islam shop, they have money, they contribute money. Every Islam, they are contributing money to make sure that the whole world is Islamized. That is what our people don't know. So it's not going to take just saying alone. We need action, and that action is going to involve we bringing out what we have and what we need to provide what we need for this fight we are going to face. Director, I will let you go, and may Chukwu Abiyama continue to direct you in the way we are going. Good night.
Thank you very much. Our brother from the San Francisco Bay Area of California, in the United States of America. Our people there are waking up, they are rising up. Most of them are secret listeners. There are more secret listeners in America than the whole world put together. But they think that we are like them. No, we are not. We have come here to preach this very gospel. We have come to get Biafra or we die getting Biafra. There is no in between. You would not have seen anything like us before, as I keep reminding you. We are not like you and can never be. Biafra is where we were born. I ask you, where were you born? And if I tell you the day I was born, you'll be shocked. Therefore, this thing that we are talking about, this effort that we are making, this gospel we are propagating, this very message of hope that we are bringing to you, this very light we are bringing to illuminate the darkest recesses of the damnation that is the zoological republic, was ordained by heaven. If nothing convinces you, the name that we bear and the date we are born should convince you. We know what we are talking about. Not because this is Biafra, but because this is Biafra ordained by Chukwukika Biama himself. Have we failed before? We call his name, so how are we going to fail? Shame will not befall us if Biafra doesn't come. And shame cannot befall his name. When I was praying before, those who understand us or those who were following us in those days gone by when we started, I said if Biafra doesn't come, then don't worry, there is no God in heaven. Don't worry now. So are you telling me that Chukwukika Biama will be in heaven? Our name is Igwe Zala. Then he will allow Awasa to rule us. It's impossible now. If that happens, then we are fake. We're no longer original. That is why we can never ever fail. If you want to know the reason why I know that Biafra is a certainty, I know it by the name that we bear. The names we give our children. If not for any other thing, for the sake that we are called by his name, we are the only people with our cousins, the Israelites and the Ethiopians, who are called by his name. You understand what it means by Chidimma? You don't know the meaning of it? I don't think you do. But we do here on Radio Biafra. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? Because we are still live and direct. It's past 10, but we are broadcasting because humanity wants us to. Your name and where you are, please.
Director, you will live long.
And you too. And you too.
Long live Biafra. Director, welcome back to UK.
Temporarily. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much for all you have been doing for us. Chukwu Abiama, as you say, is presiding over us.
Of course he is.
We thank you, Chamefo. We thank Barrister Emma Mezu. And my thanks goes to IPOB family in the United Kingdom. 30th of May was wonderful. It was awesome. The UK and English people, they heard our voice and they saw us that day. And they were celebrating and they complaining with us. That was satisfying. And the director, I have to start by saying, I am Ankwe. We never succeed. It's not possible.
Never, ever.
Never, ever. And I will start by taking this joke back to Hillary Oji again. No, Hillary Oji, you will not marry our director. It's not possible. So, yes. You see? Because Nemeka will not even allow that anyway.
Impossible.
And they will not agree.
It can never happen. My wife is too beautiful for me to abandon. She's too beautiful.
Indeed, she is. She is director. But what a sacrifice that all that, you abandon all that almost for our freedom.
Of course.
But just like you say, we will never fail. We will succeed. And all of us that believe that Chukwu Abiama is our creator, we live and see and enjoy this Biafra we are talking about. And our children will come back home wherever they are. He will gather us back again and send us back to where we come from so that we will enjoy that paradise on this planet where he made for us. Director, one more time, thank you very much for all your sacrifices. The same thing goes to you as well. And all IPOB members who are working hard for our success. Chukwu Abiama will make us invisible to all our enemies, and that we all will succeed and get to where we want to go.
Yes, sir.
And I will say again, shame to all Biafrans, whoever they are, who prefer to go and drink champagne and wine and give money out to unnecessary things instead of fighting for their freedom. We must be the only people on this planet where they say, pay for your freedom, and we are stuttering and wasting time. You see, you don't have money, but you have the money to go and marry around and throw money away, but you cannot even pay for your own freedom. I am sorry not to introduce myself. I am Nnajofo Kenwa from Igbo in Kano in Enugu, Biafra land. So, going forward, it is a very big shame. I have met some of our brethren on the road, in the working place, when we are driving children to school, when we are coming back to pick them. And when you talk to some of them about the Biafran movement right now, and all of them are talking about was Rike this, was Rike that. Shame on all of you that cannot listen, even when you are given the links to go and listen to the happening now, to Radio Biafra, and know what is going on in your life. And you wave it aside and laugh at yourself and think you are laughing at us. Shame on you. I don't know. Maybe still the cleaning and the security guard you are everywhere, even in Phnom Penh. It's better for you instead of your homeland. I'm a white woman from Enugu. I prefer to wake up in the morning and drink palm wine and look at the sun and thank my Chukwuabiama. But staying here in the cold and behaving like ostrich every time, running to go and clean and go to security work and think you are living a life. You don't have a life. Get a life for yourself. Shame on all of you. We will keep marching on whether you like it or not. Whether you contribute or not, the little we can contribute to Kubadama will make it up for us. And we will defeat the enemies. I am disappointed. It is unbelievable that people will be begging for you to come and see the light, for you to fight and stand for your freedom. And all of you are hiding. Shame on all of you. Director, thank you very much. I can say no more.
Thank you, my dear brother. Thank you, and well spoken. Thank you very much. Some people are blind, and we are therefore required to correct them. There is something you need to know about the path we have chosen to propagate this very gospel. Do you know that some things are buried inside the ground? It is left for archaeologists to go and find it. They have to dig and to uncover it. Do you know the meaning of discovery? It means to bring to light something that is buried on the ground. That's the meaning of archaeology. Without the science of archaeology, there is no way you would have known that you contained in Inri, of all places, the Star of David was buried underground. The six-pointed Star of David was buried there. Without the help of archaeology, you wouldn't have known that we built pyramids at Udi. We are bringing those things to light. Some people are still confused because that is the work of the devil to do it. As I have said before, I will say it again, Biafra is a special project of heaven. If you pursue Biafra restoration like any other country in the world, you will fail. If you like, go and try it. If you pursue our freedom the same way that other people pursue their freedom, you will be here for the next 1,000 years and nothing will happen about it. Chukwu Kikabiama wants you to understand the place you hold in his heart, that you are his children. You came to Africa for a purpose, to bring light where there is darkness. He chose you for that divine mission, knowing fully well that devil will come. The entities of darkness will circle you. Do you believe in his glory and his power enough to understand that he will rescue you from all of that and set you above all your enemies? If you can accept that, then you know that Biafra is coming. There is nothing man can do about it. It's too late. Way, way too late. The countdown has begun. The devil will try. Darkness will try. But in the end, we are going to win. And when you tell your children the story, you will tell them a particular man called Nnamdi Kanu said so, and it happened because Chukwu Kikabiama said we must say it. And that's exactly what we are doing. If you're in any doubt, I'm not in any doubt. We are not running this effort the same way other countries do theirs. Chukwu Okike Abiama is central to what we do. We don't name our children Nkechi Nyere for nothing. We don't name them Obioma Chukwu for nothing. We don't name our children Chukudera for nothing. It's not for nothing, for goodness sake. We are the embodiment of the virtues of heaven itself. You must understand that very, very well. Some of you bear other names and they wonder, how about those without any name or connotation referring to the supreme being? I say because you don't know your history, you don't know the divinity of where you're coming from. If you want lecture on it, we'll lecture you. Do you understand? The same way that people in Christendom answer Michael, who is an angel, they answer the names of angels, the same way you are also answering for messengers of heaven. How you have chosen to worship those messengers of heaven is entirely up to you. One thing is critical. Biafra will be the habitation of Chukwukika Abiyama. We will offer up Biafra to him as sacrifice. Without it, Biafra will not come. If you like, go and try. Omambia. Ask yourself, why was it that those that gave you Christian religion abandoned you when Islam came to kill you? Have you ever asked yourself, why is it that no head of state in the whole world that is worth its salt can ever mention Biafra? Do you know the reason why? Do you know that Biafra is the only conflict in the world that children saw it and decided to kill themselves? Biafra is the only conflict in the whole world that people saw and committed suicide. Do you know the reason why? There are some things about you that you don't even know. Most of you don't even know who you are. Any day you know who you are, Awasa will see your face and they'll run away from you. Because you think you're cheap. That is why Awasa is messing about with you. Let me re-echo what His Excellency said. There is no force on this earth that can defeat Biafra. You are amazed. I'm saying this. Yes, I am. Because none can. Chukwu Okike Abiama wants to know, do we believe in him well enough to deliver his kingdom to this earth? Are we worthy of that very kingdom? That's the question I have to ask you. Do you know what it means to be called Nwachukwu, a child of heaven? Or you think it's a cheap name that anybody can give to their child? You don't know the meaning of it. And that is why it was taken away from you for so long, because you never knew what was given to you. It was taken away from you, but through his mercy and his divine grace, he has shone the light once again on some of the things that were hidden about us. We are now beginning to uncover them. That is why we can never fail this time around. We either get Biafra or we all die anyway. So you don't need to worry. Either way, we are going to have victory, even in life or in death, because this Biafra is the kingdom of heaven. If you die fighting for it, there is not a better way for you to die anyway. This is Radio Biafra. We thank you very much for listening this very evening. Some things may appear confusing to some people because you don't know it. These are things of the spirit. Do we know we answer Abara where we come from? Do you know where is Abara? No, you don't know. Spirit. Spirit. Some people are children of the spirit. There are some things about us that most of you can never, ever. If you think about who we are, believe you me, you go mad. If you sit down to study who we are, you will go insane. People worship the sun god. Are you aware of that? Zeus, the sun god in Europe. I have never seen a white man answer Mr. Sun, S-U-N, before, but we answer Anyanwu. Do you understand that? There are deep, mystical things that are too deep about you. That is why the white man is afraid of you. The white man looks at the Biafra and is running and saying, these people, we must avoid them. That is what I want Boko Haram to do. When they see you in battle, they'll run away and will prevail eventually. Don't worry about that. Some of you may be by the side snaring. Some of you may want to dabble into semantics you're not aware of. Some of you may even attempt spirituality, which is beyond you. Biafra is too deep. If you know the meaning of Biafra, some of you will not wake up the next day because you'll be insane. But we thank heaven for revealing it to us because we know. That is why we are 100% sure that Biafra is coming. There is nothing you can do about it to stop it. Nobody can. Because the clock has been set running. And do you know how we set the clock running? By saying to Chukwu Abiyama, these are your children. We're going to return your children back to you. And that is the only thing he wants to hear. If you go through the Bible from A to Z, from Genesis to Revelation, the only time he ever had mercy was when somebody will come out and say, I am returning your children to you. Go and check your Bible very well. Then you know we are learned. Thank you very much for listening. We are, of course, reconvening again tomorrow. I cannot thank IPOB enough for the work you did on the 30th. All our principal officers, all of you, for the very excellent work you did. Of course, some of us, our teacher didn't arrive on time. We made contingency plans, but all the same, I must thank you once again from the bottom of my heart, because on that very day, you let humanity know, you placed them on notice that we are very serious about Biafra. If you're serious, you come with us. If you're not, stay by the side and watch and see what is going to happen. You may end up being very envious, greedy, or jealous. That is entirely your business, because none of that can ever stop Biafra from coming. And none of it can stop us from leading this very army to battle when the time comes. Biafra is our religion. Now you know. Some of you don't know who you are. You are the only people when the natural light skin amongst you in the whole of West Africa. Do you know that? I don't think you do. I don't think you do. There are many things about you don't know. But the devil is trying. The devil will confuse you. Because before we came to where we are today in Biafra, and there were the people of the forest who were there, the Bijangos were there, the people of the forest, we drove them away. As we are coming, they kept running into the bush. Today, you can only find them in Guinea-Bissau. They are remnants, the original people that were there in that part of the world. We took up some of their names, including Omenka. For your information, most of their deities and arrows we copied. That is only natural, because even the house of Israel was tainted by the foreign gods that surrounded them. That did not stop the glory of heaven from being bestowed upon them. The same thing is going to happen to you. Regardless of how iniquitous you are, Chukwukika Abiyama will always have mercy, because we have called down that mercy from heaven. We did so on the 30th of May in Aba, in CKC of all places. That is why to us, Biafra will remain our religion. If you don't understand it, very tough. Here on Radio Biafra is where we will continue to worship. Why do we do so? Because we only know one entity to worship, not two, not three, not four. I have never seen anybody before answer any other thing. Answer Jesus, or Ife na Jesus. You answer Ife na Chi. Do you understand the meaning of that? Even in our stupidity, we've not forgotten who we are. We have not forgotten that every glory, that every glory belongs to heaven. He doesn't share. He said, I'm jealous. Share my glory and I will leave you. He abandoned us for long. We have gone back to him, and that is why Biafra will come. That is why he will also bless, not just sustain, keep each and every one of you and your families, but most critically and importantly, this same Chukwukika Biama, the beginning and the end, the Alpha and the Omega, the author and the finisher, the architect of life itself. He that existed before creation came into being will bless Biafra. Thank you very much for listening. From me, from here, please accept my good evening.
All hail Biafra, land of the rising sun. We love and cherish. We have vanquished our enemies. All hail Biafra. God bless Biafra. In him we trust. Shout it, sing it. All hail Biafra. God bless Biafra. We have emerged strong.